Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to episode 10. Whew, I know the last one was a doozy. All right, we made it through somehow, some way. All right, by some absolute shenanigree, but we did it nonetheless. And we might still have some hurt feelings we gotta work through, but nonetheless, I'm gonna let y'all hop into it. You know the drill. All right, if you got questions, comment down below. Hit the subscribe button if you're enjoying the content. And I'm gonna talk to y'all in the next one. Peace out.
Someone provide a recap of what happened last time.
Oh boy, would I love to.
Axel's about to fucking die. That's your recap.
Let me get my A's in. All right. So we started off with 4 suspects. Unsure if it was a combination of the rich folk plus their helper. Oh, you removed all of the people. That's what you were doing with the cleaning. I see. Oh my god, what were their? What was their last light something or no? What was Lieberman's? It was no, that's right. Lieberman's. Joseph was their bodyguard, some combination, or Rachel. We had it down to the 4. We end up trying to go talk to Rachel again, to which she then, unbeknownst to the party, gives Axel a command spell, locking him into the belief that he needs to, 1, basically admit everything to her, and 2, has the sole thought in his head of protect Rachel, which leads to some shenanigans. Mainly Axel and Rachel slaying the party, if you will, or at least knocking them unconscious. To which it kind of goes for a while. Axel does a lot of no-nos, but, and it ends up...
That was a fairly close fight,
it actually was. I was really praying y'all would not let Axel do those things, but he fucking high-rolled, of course. And then towards the end, Rachel was like, "Oh, I can't suck your mana power stuff." And Axel was like, "Yeah, watch me crit and do 4 damage," which was really cool. That will forever be...
That was quite the moment. That was the roller coaster.
It was crazy. It was crazy to crit that and not... Anyway. But then we all end up dying. Axel does not win the 1v1. But Vera, talking to her god, her goddess, rather, is like, "Yo, I can help you out if you'd like." And she's like, "Sure, homie." And Buffer came out and yoinked Rachel out the air. And that is where we're at.
We'll say the only reason I think that this is kind of like the canon way that things were supposed to go is that Buffer also critted on his guiding bolt with like no advantage. And
did he really? That's funny.
So yeah, so this was all meant to be according to the dice, apparently.
I'm still pissed I crit.
Because I didn't even think about this, but like if Buffer had missed and Rachel had just turned around, she could have just insta-killed him. She wasn't aware of his presence, which is why he had it. But anyway.
Yeah.
So things worked out for the most part. We'll get started then. I'm the only player right now because, well, I guess technically Lily's conscious still, but
and just tumbling around.
However, Vera, you come to life with a gasp as you feel some of your wounds partially close. Same with you, Axel. Buffer does not wait for any responses, instead marching this direction. He calls back after a bit and he says, "Join me when you can. No rush."
When Vera wakes up, is she disoriented or is she like fully lucid?
I mean, probably a certain amount of disorientation. Oh, I put on music.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys can do what you want to do. Buffer's gonna continue doing.
Alright. Cool. Vera sits up, kind of disoriented, sees Rachel, and then immediately sets her on fire.
Yeah.
Like,
Chuck's
fucking
firebolt at the unmoving.
Right?
Yeah. I'll say, I imagine like you're doing this like over and over again, like making sure that
I want only ashes left.
Okay, yeah. So it'll take you like a little bit to like completely burn the body with just firebolt, but like within the next like 30 seconds or so, just this constant ray of fire magic does turn her body into a pile of cinders.
Fantastic. Then Vera mutters, "Take that, you and your false-ass god," and I can't move.
The game is paused. Lily, you hear a voice call out, "Look out below!" And this piece, basically, it's just like the top portion of a crate, so like just the wooden like top of a crate, which appears to be have been tied to a wire. The wiring that you saw inside of the storage compartment earlier comes bumbling down towards you, sort of slamming the force field next to you, and beginning to tumble with you. The voice calls out again, "Get on it, I'll pull you back up."
I grab on it.
Okay.
I'm guessing the voice isn't feminine, right?
It is not feminine, no. It is, very
It's
male
old
voice.
dwarf.
As Vera, as you come over, Buffer looks over at you and says, "I could use some help here. My back isn't what it used to be."
God. Okay. Vera doesn't really expect anything from this, but on a scale of 1 to 10, how dead are these guys?
I mean, Noir has
Well,
his
Noir's head is
chopped
off.
Eater, you look over, you check his pulse. He is not breathing. His heart's not beating. And if you just a cursory mana sense, there's no spirit mana around Sergeant Eater anymore.
Oh, God. All right. Well, that's big sad. Okay.
Are you helping Buffer?
Yeah. Vera
He's
kind of looks.
he's like hauling this wire that he has in his hands.
Vera looks at Buffer and she goes, "What? What are you doing?" And then she just kind of grabs the wire with him, and it's like, "All right, I guess this is what we're doing."
With a huff and a heave. Okay, well.
Okay. Well, with advantage.
He gets you about like halfway up, Lily, and then like he lets go. He tries to like he doesn't like just completely let go. He lets it like head back down. But he sort of sits down and he calls again and he says, "Sorry, Miss Lily, give me a minute here. I'm an old man." As he sort of he sits down and like is breathing heavily in and out and just trying to regroup from the attempt.
Excuse me? Did you just say Lily?
I would like to.
Vera's like, what the fuck we doing?
Am I like tumbling, or can I gain some ground?
You were tumbling. However, now that you have the wooden pallet there, you can sort of get on that and use it as kind of like a little raft board to stabilize yourself.
Okay. I was gonna use the raft board. Dang it. I want to do something cool.
It's like it's like the tide is constantly coming in, so it's not like a massive like force or anything, but it is like just a constant pull in that direction.
Okay. And how far did it bring me?
He would have gotten you about halfway there. I guess when he let go, like you would have had the chance to try to like grab onto it yourself and start pulling yourself if you'd like.
Yeah, that's kind of. Yeah.
Okay, sure. You can go ahead and make your own athletics check.
How are we feeling about acrobatics?
If you can find a way to convince me that acrobatics, here, I will let you roll it.
Well, athletics seems a bit more strengthy, and I'm like, while he is dropping it, I am jumping and trying to grab onto it, doing multiple flips. And that's acrobatics.
Yeah, you can go ahead and make your athletics check.
He did say multiple flips, though.
Good try.
He did say multiple flips.
I'll say with an 11, you managed to keep the wire, or you managed to like get yourself about halfway there. I'll say Buffer at that point gets up and he looks over at Vera and says, "All right, one more try, Miss Vera, if you don't mind."
Vera still doesn't know what the hell's going on. Okay, whatever.
Okay.
It's only slightly better.
With Lily pulling herself up and getting her about halfway there, and Buffer and Vera pulling on the other end, Lily, you do manage to arrive here. Buffer sort of grabs your arm and sort of pulls you onto the train with like a final heave, so he kind of collapses a little bit from the effort.
Lily, oh my God, you're alive! Who would have guessed?
Not to me. Is that this for sure?
Oh, well, that was quite the effort. Here you are, Miss Lily. Let me take care of that for you. And he will go ahead and... Oh, he's out of... Okay, well, I'll use second level. Okay, so Lily, you
good
feel this
roll.
holy energy, similar to Vera, but this one a little bit more potent, flowing within you, healing the wounds that significant wounds that you sustained during the fight.
All right. I get up and go. Uh, thank you once again, Monsieur Buffer. It seems you have woken up from the slumber you were in.
Uh, I don't know if waking up is I suppose that's a good metaphor, at least for what happened. In any case, the Miss Sokolov, she is dead, and Vera has destroyed the body, just so you're aware, Miss Lily.
Very good.
Yes, well, if you'll excuse me, I need to go make sure everyone is aware of what happened. And he
Understood.
trots off.
I would like to immediately sit down and concentrate for a minute.
Okay.
Whatever could he be doing?
Axel, are you still just sitting there?
So I was laying on the ground next to the body, but then Vera obviously started cooking it. So I kind of sat up, moved, and was just staring at the body burning for a while. And I'm just like completely zoned out, like nothing.
Okay.
Like sitting up against the wall, basically.
Buffer goes to the door of Alina and Endel, which is right below you. He sort of knocks on the door and he says, Endel, Alina, it's Mr. Buffer. Don't worry, everything's handled. I know you had quite the experience there. Stay inside your rooms by all means, but just be aware that you're safe now. There's no further threat aboard this train. He pauses at you, Axel, sort of looks down at you with sympathetic, sort of grandfatherly eyes. He says, Axel, son.
I look up at him.
I don't know how aware you are of. There's a very potent and very immoral form of magic in this world. It can affect the minds of the creatures it is cast upon. You were the victim of such a spell, son. Do not hold yourself to account for the actions that you may or may not have taken while you were under the influence of another. And he sort of steps on. He knocks at each of the Irina Farber's door and the Kramer's doors and kind of repeats a similar message as to the one he gave Endel and Alina. I'll say at that point a minute would have passed. So Vera, you see where Noir's body used to be over there. It disappears. How do we?
I can bring another one in if you want.
I was like, can you just heal that one?
I can just fix this one. Fix this door.
We'll just stitch it back together. It's fine. It's fine.
Reappearing into the space next to Lily. That is 1 rank of exhaustion, I believe, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Oh. Well.
I hug Noir with all my love.
Noir sort of cracks its neck from side to side, and lets out. He begins licking you. You get sort of a mixture of like, he's very relieved to see you again, and he's happy that you're okay because he was out of it for a while. Also, he is very angry.
Angry boy.
I pet Noir. No, don't worry. Me too, my friends. Me too. And well, come on. We've got work to do.
Oh god.
Gotta go to the restroom real quick.
Yeah. Gotta close the doors. I kind of also in a similar fashion to Buffer, kind of yell out that everything's for the most part okay. The threat is gone at least.
Okay. Okay, you can go ahead and make a persuasion check, Lily.
Sure.
Okay. There is, and I'm gonna just, I will delete the Rachel token as she is incinerated at this point.
Excellent.
The door does open finally, and Alina kind of peeks her eyes out. You hear Endel like whispering to her, "Get back in here! Close the door." Alina, however, looking from side to side and not seeing any further signs of violence, like everyone seems to be kind of chilled out. Her eyes go to Axel, and she says, "Are you okay, Mr. Axel?"
Yeah, I don't reply to anything. I'm just like very zoned out, staring at the kind of like in between, I guess, just like the wall and where the like burnt ash pile is now, I suppose.
Okay. Buffer sort of he comes over and he shoos Alina away. He says, "Don't worry, Miss Alina. I have some healing potions. He'll be right as rain in a moment. Get back in your room and, as Endel says, lock the door, just for safety's sake." Alina nods and does as he says. Buffer sort of looks down at Axel. Axel, how are you feeling right now?
I turn and look up at Buffer, and pause for a little bit, just staring at him, like just like looking dumbfounded at the question, and just kind of go, "Great." Just that's it. Just great.
He frowns uncertainly. He says, "Perhaps I should be more specific. Do you feel like something has been lifted from you? Or do you still feel that you are under the same enchantment that you were before?"
Yeah, still looking at him. Just no, I suppose the urges are gone.
So
Okay.
I'm just watching on because I kind of expected her to like lose it by now.
I'm staying calm.
Okay.
Buffer sort of looks at you uncertainly. He says, "Well, and again, Axel, I'm somewhat aware of your plight. However, I no longer have access to the same senses that I had before I awoke. For safety's sake, I think it'd probably be best if you return to your room and lock the door, same as the other passengers."
I turn and look at you three, Lily, Noir, and Vera. What's the vibes?
I'm waiting for the conversation to end.
Vera?
I think Vera would be a little too distracted about how she sold her freedom away to a god she doesn't believe in.
Okay. That's fair. Okay. I stand up without saying a word, and
I
just...
tripped you. You're not standing up.
Okay. Lily, you can make an athletics check. Axel, you can make athletics or acrobatics.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, bad rolls.
So Lily,
The usual.
Lily sort of hooks your ankles. You're trying to sort of stand up and pulls it out from underneath you, causing you to fall back down.
This man only rolls high when he's trying to kill us. The audacity.
Yes, sir. Hey, listen. This was a canonical roll.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Monsieur Buffer, are you done with the conversation?
Yes, I suppose so. I'm not certain if he's still affected by the enchantment, so I think it's safer for him to stay away from, be isolated from everyone else.
Ah, but of course. Well, if the conversation is done, and I would like to make a very swift kick to Axel's jaw.
Okay. I'll let you just go and make an attack roll. That'd probably be more appropriate than athletics here.
What is my DC or AC? 11.
Oh, cool.
So Axel, more out of instinct than anything else,
Just move to the side a little bit.
Sitting down.
Oh yeah, actually that's a good
I
point.
am
He is
prone.
prone.
That's
So
valid.
go and
That's
roll
valid.
again. Go ahead and roll again. Okay.
Let's go.
So yeah. So Lily, you do manage to punch him. If this
Kick
is
him.
oh kick him. That's what I meant.
Kick him in the mouth.
You can go ahead and roll a
I was like, I don't even
d4.
know how much health I got right now. 7.
I mean, it's gonna be a d4 minus one, because this is unarmed technically.
Yep.
Which it bases off of strength unless you have something for it.
Solid one.
A 0
Okay.
damage would have been really funny.
So yeah, Axel, you do take, and I'll mark it here.
Okay.
1 point of damage.
Nice.
I mean, I guess at this point I'm like flipped over from this kick. Yeah, I mean, I just like ball up, like getting as defensive as I could be in my like on the floor, and just like am like you. I guess you hear like slight crying because Axel's just like Axel's so out. Axel's so out of it. I like at this point I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, and I'm just like so like I don't know what's going on.
Cool. Vera would like to completely ignore that kick and then look over to Buffer like, excuse me, enchantment?
Yes. Your friend Axel was under the effects of an enchantment from the Chosen of Lilith, Miss Sokolov. He was instructed to protect her, and that command embedded itself like a worm in his mind, an overriding purpose. I believe it was for this reason he was fighting against you.
Vera looks over at Axel and goes, for how long? How long were you under this enchantment, Axel?
I believe I might be able to answer that question better than he can.
I was gonna say I do like kind of through like choked breath. I mean, having just been kicked in the jaw, right? Like I'm like bleeding from the mouth, everything. You just hear like a very like very hard to hear and understand like a like I don't know. I didn't want to do it, and then just silence.
It was over the course of his conversation with Miss Sokolov in his room. When you sent him in there to interview her.
Uh-huh. And just to make sure I get this correct, before we sent Axel in there, Vera had told him that she thought that Rachel was the killer and he didn't believe her, right?
If you want his words, he had said that he had made it very clear that he knew she was a possibility, but she was the lowest on his list. Like, he knew that she was on the list of possibilities, but did not think it was her.
Okay, great. Vera just looks down at Axel and goes, I told you. Oh my god. This is what happens when you don't believe me. I look over to Lily and I go, what's Lily's expression looking like? Just rage beyond reason?
It is just a death aura around her. It is
Axel,
just the air is thick.
Axel, I don't quite know what to do with you.
Well, but if he was under a spell, then not his fault, correct?
Buffer says, I don't wish to absolve Axel entirely. The spell that was used, it was a powerful one, and it was coming from the Chosen of Lilith, who herself is awarded special abilities and powers over the minds of others. However, this particular spell would only be possible if Axel believed the suggestion to be reasonable. I think he perhaps trusted her a bit too much. That said, I find it difficult to believe he would have done what he did without the influence of the spell.
I see. Alright, well, we have to think of some punishment for you, Axel.
He's not saying anything. If y'all are waiting for him, he's not going to say anything.
He's
No,
just sitting there crying.
well, we have to think of some punishment for you.
If I may, before we speak of punishments and things of that nature, there's a fairly decent chance that you all will not survive debarking this train.
And that's what I was worried about. I was afraid you were going to bring that up. And actually, that was my next question. Great. How do we get away from the people coming after us? Any suggestions, Buffer?
Perhaps we should discuss this in another train compartment. I don't wish to alarm anyone. And again, you all are safe. To be clear, it's just these three that might be in a bit of trouble. You are all fine. Buffer sort of announces loudly to the rest of the cabin. Perhaps we should take this to the other car.
Yes. And Lily's just staying there with Axel.
I'm not moving unless Axel moves.
No, I was like, Axel's not moving till people leave him. He's just going to stay curled up, so.
Okay.
Pretty
I
sure
kick
only
you.
Vera cares about this info.
I kick you again. Move.
I'll say no attack roll.
Are we
necessary.
rolling? Oh, okay. I was like, are we
rolled up in
rolling?
a ball, he's not dodging that.
I love how you're just humming pleasantly as Axel gets kicked again.
Listen, I'm living through it. Well, he can only take so many more kicks before he goes unconscious. So.
Do I roll a d4 again? -1.
Depends on how hard you're kicking him, I guess. If you're just like trying to do like a kick, like get up, move, that sort of thing, probably not. But if you're like trying to kick to hurt, then yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, so Axel, she kicks you pretty hard in the back.
What is he at? 3 health now?
Yeah, a good old classic 3 health. He would have to max roll me on the next one. Yeah, I guess Axel, with that hard of a kick would, roll over, and
Question, did
he
Axel
just-
have a reaction to seeing Lily and Noir alive right in front of him? Is he not registering that?
Not really, no.
Okay, fair. He's working through stuff.
He just wherever he kind of lands, he again tries to like just either get against the wall, basically, I guess like moving over, getting against the wall. It's just, I mean, he is not reacting to you right now.
Sad
Okay.
boy.
I move closer to you and look you up and
Big
down.
ol' hug.
Something like that.
A
Big
few
ol' kiss.
smooches.
I
Pat his head and call him a good boy.
I look you up and down and go, pitiful excuse for a man. Are you not? Don't worry, I know the answer to it. I believe there is someone much angrier with you than I. I shall listen to the information that this man has to say and decide whether your life is worth it.
Oh, go turn him into a turtle, that's fair. Death by turtle. What a way to go.
Okay. So leaving Noir behind with Axel, Buffer looks up and sort of looks back, sort of expecting Axel to walk through the door with Lily. He frowns and says, all right. I suppose you wouldn't do it. Well, like I said, I can't be certain that the enchantment has gone from his mind. There were... Well, to summarize things briefly, when I was, after the fight with the necromancer, I overtaxed my abilities. Lilith's influence through Miss Sokolov had me in a coma, more or less. However, Vala, the Empyrean that I pray to, took me to the outer realms where my spirit resided. I was able to see around the train with more than just eyes, so I have a decent sense of what has gone on in my absence. Additionally, before I awoke, I was summoned to the avatar of Vala herself. First time in my life to have encountered her. And his eyes kind of water a little bit. It appears to have been a very moving experience for him.
That's one of us, huh?
He says, but in any case, she gave me some information and told me to do with it what I would. Firstly, apparently, and congratulations, Miss Vera, she said that Zafina had accepted you as her chosen.
Vera grimaces and says, I'd rather not talk about that.
Well, in any case, that was the reason that I was able to wake up, so I thank you for that. But beyond that, she informed me that your life, and I imagine the lives of your colleagues, it will be in great danger once we debark the train. The Shadow Legion has no reason to keep you alive.
I figured as much.
I had suspected this from the start, but with confirmation from, well, the avatar of my deity, I take it as fact rather than opinion. I'm not entirely sure how we're going to have you three survive. I have an idea, but if you have any thoughts, I'd be happy to hear them.
I have barely any information on this world to be of use. I don't quite know if I'll have any ideas to provide you. I quite literally have not been. This train is all I've ever known of this world.
Well, my idea, and it's not a terribly good one, which is why I'm hoping that you'll be able to come up with something better, is I can claim you as my bodyguards. Now, technically, as the bodyguards of an ambassador from another land, you'll be afforded certain, or you should be, in theory, afforded certain discretion when it comes to legal matters. As to whether or not the Shadow Legion would respect this, I can't say. In theory, though, it would be enough to get you to to the Urclan's ambassador house in Duran. Again, that's assuming that the Shadow Legion accepts my claims and doesn't simply kill me along with the rest of you if I attempt to cause trouble. Which, to be clear, I am willing to take this risk. I am aware that you saved the lives of potentially everyone on this train, including myself. So it's only fair that I risk my life in your favor. Any thoughts? Do you have perhaps a better idea than that?
Oh, jeez. The only other thing I was possibly thinking of is trying to call a favor due to my good grace with the Liebermans. I don't quite know how much power they hold. I doubt, even despite being nobles and part of the commission, I doubt they would be able to sway the Shadow Legion.
I don't know. It's possible, I suppose. I would find it impressive if you managed to convince them to try to confront the Shadow Legion for you. That would be quite the favor.
I was going to attempt to use your plan. Ask if I can be their bodyguard or something. Because they did mention that they... What did they say, Hudson? The mark on my wrist, right? They wanted to deal with that.
Yeah, they wanted, as soon as they got to Duran, they wanted you to come to their mansion and have that inspected at that point.
Okay. I guess I'll give Buffer Light Eye the short version of that little debacle. I'll be like, dude, I don't know if the Shadow Legion would leave nobles alone is the problem.
That would be my guess too. And the other issue, of course, is that the Liebermans don't know that you're Outworlders, so they wouldn't know why the Shadow Legion is after you in the first place.
I'm thinking I'm a criminal or something.
Well, that would not be a favorable assumption for them to make. If they thought that you were a criminal, I doubt they would stick up for you in that instance. I mean, it's not a bad idea. I'm uncertain as to why they would be motivated to help you.
Well, despite that, I mean, that's the only other thing I can really think of.
Buffer sort of turns around and says, Miss Lily, do you have any thoughts or opinions on the matter?
I shake my head.
All right. Well, we have one long night, I suppose, and a day until we get to Duran, so we'll have time to think about things until then. In the meantime, if you don't mind, I'm going to go and collect some food. I'll bring back things for everyone else as well, as best I can. Again, I recommend putting Axel in the room. Like I said, it seemed to me before I woke up that the enchantment was gone, but it was I wasn't entirely there at that moment, so I'm not entirely sure what happened. I think it's better to keep him isolated.
Axel would try to get up, like, kind of towards the end of that conversation, I guess. He has
Cool.
the whole moment.
One more question for
Good.
Buffer Light Eye. I was going to ask, with Rachel gone, do you truly believe someone else could take advantage of his of that enchantment, or do you just think it will still take effect somehow, despite her being gone?
I'm not an expert in enchantment magic by any stretch. I'm aware of its existence. I don't think I've ever seen it used outside of a courtroom. I can't say, and this is strange enchantment magic. Again, the Chosen of Lilith is privy to certain powers. If it was normal enchantment magic, I think he should be perfectly safe, but we can't be 100% confident is the issue, which is why I think we should keep him isolated. That's also why I didn't heal him fully, in case he attempted to fight again.
Alright, well, lock him in his room, I suppose.
That was my thought.
Also, it was before y'all come over there. I was like, Axel,
right.
yeah. Because first he would, look up, see Noir, and not smile, but feel very relieved and confused. And I mean, then proceed to try to just sit up. I think not necessarily stand up, but lean up against the wall. If Noir's gonna stop him from doing that.
Nope.
Yeah, he will lean up against the wall, just looking at Noir, and go from there. So he's just up against the wall now.
Okay. Standing up or sitting down?
Just sitting down.
What? Standing up or standing down?
Sitting down.
Oh, sitting down. Okay. I like to switch places here.
Yep.
He is just staring at Noir right now. So.
Gotcha. Okay, I grab you by while you're not looking by one of your back shoulder blades and start not dragging because I don't think I'm strong enough, but kind of moving you in the direction of your room.
Yeah, you lift up.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, I will stand up to that and walk along, just taking it for now.
Walk.
Yeah. I'm unless are you gonna stop me part of the way or?
Oh, it's your room? No.
Oh, I was like, that's where I'm walking. I don't know where you're.
No, I was just gonna follow you there. You don't exactly have a lock on your room.
Yeah.
That's true.
I just push the door open gradually. I walk in and I just lay on the bed. I mean, I don't shut the door or anything.
Yeah, I since I have resistance to the acid, if the acid is there, I still just grab the door and close it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't recall exactly what happened to the door, but I'll say it mostly is closed, but it is. I think you guys messed it up pretty bad. So I don't think
the handle is burnt. It's it doesn't exist anymore, if I remember right.
The lock is burnt.
Or the lock,
okay. All right. Well, if the door itself didn't take that much damage, then yeah.
And the bottom of it, actually, the bottom of it is also heavily corroded.
Okay. Well, you close the door as best you can in any case. I'll say with that, it will make a lot of noise if it opens up again. I'll put it that way.
As it falls off its hinges.
Yeah. Okay. anything that Lily? Well, is there anything anyone would like to do before you guys go to bed for the night?
I would like to put Sergeant Eater in a better place.
Okay. Where do you want him?
Um, I guess just kind of laying down, like over, I don't know, like over here, kind of in the open, in a at least semi-formal position, and then get some of the sheets or something, even if they're bags, rip them open, and then kind of, I don't know, make some sort of,
Over his body.
yeah.
Okay. Sure.
I kind of bow down, and I give him my thanks. Um,
Sure.
then I walk out, close the storage room, another door with no locks,
And also a giant hole blasted in the door.
and a giant hole blasted. That one's not
Oh
mine.
yes.
Oh man.
That one's not mine though. And I will go to my room.
Okay. At a certain point, pretty soon as after you guys had gone to your rooms, Buffer knocks on every door. You hear him knocking on other doors too, saying, "Oh, I put a plate of just bread or sandwiches outside of your room whenever you like them." He does the same for you too. He does not do the same for Axel, but he does for Lily and Vera.
Nice.
After that, you hear him open his door and he himself enter.
What Axel do?
He done did fucked up.
It's more just that he. Anyway, all right. You guys go to bed for the night. Putting you guys back at dawn on the 14th of Leaf. Yeah. So you guys wake up,
Take a long rest.
gaining the benefits of a full rest.
Yay!
Is there a button for full rest, or does that just mean everything's Gucci?
There is a button for it. It's next to the hit dice in your character sheet. There's S rest and L rest.
Okay, so just the long rest. Okay.
Is there anything that you guys would like to do during the day? Like I said, you're scheduled to arrive in Duran about this afternoon. So you do have a little bit of time left if you'd like to try to do something in that short period.
I'm gonna go to Irene. The conductors are still sealed off, even with because I imagine he went to like the staff at least.
Yes, he did. He did inform them that the train was safe now. However, that doesn't matter to the conductors. They need a signal.
I go and knock on Irene's door.
Okay. The Irene's door is technically this one here. That's the Kramer's over there. A small voice comes through, and yes. I will say, like, when Buffer was telling everyone sort of what had happened last night, he did not mention that, like, Rachel was the issue to Irina, at least. He probably wouldn't have to any of them, actually. He just, like, said the threat is dealt with, like, that sort of thing.
Okay, well, I don't think I would have done that, but yeah, I don't think I would have knocked on the door if the... Oh, I guess I did say it was them. Ooh, I did yell that.
You did do
Yeah,
it.
you did scream. You did scream
yeah.
that. You did scream it was Axel and Rachel.
Did yell that. That's a good point. Okay, I knock on the door and go. It is I, Lily, and Noah.
What do you want?
Was a shit.
I would just like to say is that I understand the problem is solved, but emotions stay, and I don't know if anybody would, but I am sorry for what you're feeling.
Okay. There's some quiet sobs coming from the other side of the door, and just like muttering, like I thought I knew her, that sort of thing. It does appear that Irina has kind of read between the lines here and realized that Rachel was the one responsible for the deaths.
Well, regardless, yeah, figured I'd come by. I know it's not easy.
She does manage to sort of a strained thank you through the door.
Yeah, I say goodbye, and then during the day we can continue with what we were doing. That's kind of the only thing I wanted to do.
Okay. Yeah, what would you guys like to do? Buffer, for his part, he'll leave his door open, or no, that's Vera's door. He'll leave his door open. He's kind of just sitting down. He appears to be like writing furiously, trying to write some contracts for having hired you guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, not very. He's not a forger, so it's not going to be terribly good. But he wants some papers at least.
Cool. I guess while Lily was doing that, Vera would check on. Oh, there she goes. Vera would push open this creaky ass acid ruined door.
Yeah, you should try knocking on it and see what happens.
And then peek her head in with Axel looking like
having
a potential crisis.
Yeah, I woke up, didn't move a whole lot. I got out my little Emperor's Gambit set and have just been like moving the pieces, like just sitting there, like just basically like messing around with that. Very blank expression though, like you see like zero emotion, like there's nothing there.
Mm-hmm. Axel, are you finally put together now? Do you have a conversation?
I look up at you. Just go, what do you want to talk about?
The weather mostly. What do you think I want to talk about?
Yeah, to that, I just go back to the game. I just say, well, from what I understand, there's not much to talk about, and frankly, I don't know what you want me to tell you. As he just, continues to sit there and move the pieces around.
Mostly, I wanted to discuss where do you think that, where do you want to go from here?
I frankly don't think that's my call to make. And I look up after that. I don't think I'm getting off this train, and if I do, I don't know how much longer I'll have. And I will not be fighting any of you for my life. And looks back down and goes back to his game.
Well, since you're under an enchantment, I am willing to move forward with you as a group, but this does entirely rest on Lily. I don't particularly care if you live or die, but if Lily does come to the conclusion that she can move forward with you as well, I am willing for all of us to move forward together. And then, does Axel have any? Does he just keep?
Yeah, just keeps moving little pieces around. And once you do finish the sentence, though, he's still messing with the game, but just goes, well, I figured the choice pretty much would be hers, and just continues moving the pieces.
I do have to ask. If Lily does let you live, can you guarantee that this will never happen again? Where you put a 6-day lover, place it as more important than the mission?
Yeah, Axel pauses and just sits there and stares at his game, and then just goes back to it. It doesn't respond. And he actually looks like his expression has gotten slightly annoyed.
So so it
And
only
just
hurts
doesn't say
true.
anything.
Alright, well, Vera just whatever closes that shitty ass door. And does she see Lily in the hallway? Is she
Oh, yeah.
alright, well. Do you want to have this discussion here or somewhere else? I imagine she can figure out what I'm talking about.
I was going to get some alcohol. The kitchen is not closed for the moment.
Well, oh, the kitchen is closed for the moment? Is that what she
Is
said?
not closed.
Alright, well, do you want to meet in the next compartment over as you go get your alcohol?
Sure.
Okay. Lily goes and knocks. The servants, they do have it still locked, but they let you in as you are one of the trusted people. And you collect, I imagine, pretty much whatever you want. They're not stopping you to pay at the moment.
I would like to steal a kitchen knife as well.
Okay. Sure. Kitchen knife as well.
When I hear them leave, I would like to walk over to Buffer's room, and basically just walk over, say, "Hey, I know you're busy, but can you get me some food?"
He nods and he produces. I suppose he probably had it like lying down somewhere. An additional, just like some extra bread that he brought in case anyone was still hungry, and offers it to you.
Okay, yeah, I grab it and I go, "Oh, thank you, I appreciate it."
Axel, before you leave, I will say I never worked in any clinic or hospital. I was always more of a bureaucrat in terms of my clerical duties. That said, I believe you've undergone a deeply traumatic experience, and there are people that can help you with it in this world. Don't give up hope, my young friend.
I put on he wouldn't even have to insight this. Like, it's pretty clearly a fake smile, but like he is like trying to force a genuine smile, so to speak. It gives like a no, we had a thing called therapy. I don't know if that's what it's called here, but maybe it'll do some good, I guess. Trying to put on the best like it'll get better face, and then turns and goes back to his room.
Okay. In the meantime, Vera and Lily, you return with your kitchen knife and whatever alcoholic beverages you chose to bring with you.
Bottles of whiskey. Yes, sir. What is it you wanted to talk about?
Well, there's really only one thing that you can probably imagine that I want to talk about.
I take a swig of the whiskey. No, no clue.
Great, really gonna make me spell it out, huh? Are you gonna let Axel live or die?
I have learned in my heart to forgive him.
Oh. Okay. Vera looks a little surprised, but okay. You have room in your heart to forgive him. Right? I honestly didn't expect that.
The bottle of whiskey here is for him.
Uh-huh. Hey, can I roll a perception check? Is Lily telling the truth?
Gotta roll an insight. I'm gonna roll a perception. Or perception, deception.
What? Roll what?
You're rolling an insight.
Great. I am not getting shit.
Imagining that ones though.
I still do have to roll the deception since I called for it.
Oh, that's so funny.
Oh wow! Even with a +2.
Oh man.
To not one though. What are we ruling?
Do we want to re-roll? I don't know how we want to do this. He always makes player rules beat us, so I think you two have to.
Oh yeah, no, I don't care. That's up to you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotta roll it. Does the higher number just count, or does nat one?
Typically, nat one just means failure. At least that's how I normally roll it. But I mean, it's up to you guys.
Oh.
I mean, it's a player rule. I don't care. You guys can do what you want.
If Vera's okay, we can just keep the rules consistent with that one. If not, we can re-roll.
I want to reroll.
Okay, okay, sure. From now on, if you get a nat 1, you fail.
If I get another nat, okay, yeah.
No. From now on, player rolls that are nat 1s will fail.
Unless
Okay,
there's two
sure.
nat ones. I think they
Unless
both
there's
should still
two
have to
nat
roll.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Lily is not meaning what she is saying.
Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. Vera just sighs and like, Lily, I don't really care if he dies or not. I'm just asking you to be honest.
I smile and like jump to the side, like not jump to the side, but like move my body to the side, um, and go. Oh, Vera, I don't remember asking you.
Okay, great. Well.
And I continue to walk.
Okay, well. How the fuck is this campaign going to move forward? I think all of our characters don't like each other.
I think we're about to find out real quick, huh?
Alright, well, while she's doing that, okay,
I was like,
well,
if
I'll
Vera
let Lily
didn't,
go first.
the door would be closed for what it's worth
Yeah,
now, because he would have gotten his food and is eating. But
What were you saying, Vera?
I'll let you go first, but while she's doing that, I would just like to talk to Buffer Light-Eye.
Boofer,
I
boy.
I knock on the door for all the help that is.
I assume the door just opens when you knock on it.
Stop like halfway. I think it would move back, but it wouldn't.
I
move
mean,
all the way back.
it's a sliding door, so I imagine.
Oh, I didn't know it was a sliding door. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
I was like, we did change that halfway through, and I was like, I forget how to describe it now. Yeah, that's fine. I slide the door then. And I imagine he says nothing.
Well, if I look up and see you, eating my sandwich or whatever,
Am I eating your sandwich? The fuck?
Yeah, what?
Oh, did you get food?
Yeah, I got it from Buffer.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, I asked Buffer for a plate of food or for food, and he had extra. So I guess as I see you, I set the plate down, I do back up to the edge of the bed. I'm still sitting on the bed, but I get to the edge of it, and I am just looking at you, just waiting.
I walk in, close the door. Nora is actually in though.
Yeah. Okay. You see just a shield, but a shield like appears in my hand and like my red, beautiful flurry, sparkly magic, as I like hunker down in the corner, and just give a look. You can believe what you want to believe, Lily. I really didn't want to hurt y'all.
I laugh and go, "No, it's okay. Finish your foods." And I go to pick up the Emperor's Gambit set.
He's not moving. he is like dead still, just watching you.
I sit on the side of the bed that you're not on, since you said you hunkered down.
Yeah.
And I like put the board on like whatever, like this chest or whatever thing you have it for, and I put the pieces, and I like kind of usher you to play.
Yeah. All right. I give out like a very long just a and you see the shield go away. And as I reach out to move a piece, whatever the starting opening move or whatever, I do give a if you are gonna do it, just do it fast. And I move a piece, first piece, or I go to move it,
Yeah, I'll continue to play with no interruptions. I just gave back a smile.
And Axel will just continue to play, I suppose. Are we playing to completion of this? Okay.
Yep.
I'll roll a disadvantage because no shot he's playing at peak performance here. Where's tactics? I have +1 for Emperor's Gambit. That's what we gave me, something like that.
You +2. You're have
I'm
an additional
proficient.
proficiency for it.
That's right. Ooh, close though.
Oof, almost had me. I'm starting to get better. Again?
I start setting up the pieces, and as I'm setting them up, I'm like, are we just gonna play till you get bored, or
At least give me a best of 3.
fair enough. And I will set the pieces up, and play another round, I suppose.
Oof. Almost has that one. Your head's getting back in it.
I set up the pieces, and I play again. I guess.
Yeah.
Plus my proficiency. That wouldn't matter.
No, it
That's
wouldn't.
good.
Well, that's a shame.
Yeah, I sit up and look at you and go, well, good game. And I just put out my hand for a handshake.
I put out my hand for a handshake.
All right, I'll shake hand.
When I grab his hand, how
Here it is.
can I
Here we
make an
go.
insight on you?
I mean, yeah. I mean, what do you? I was like, I don't think he's not really hiding anything right now.
No, I'm just curious on how twitchy you are.
Not super twitchy because he has faced death multiple times in his life prior, and he has had time to cool off between the sleep and everything. He is clearly nervous, but definitely not twitchy. He is, calmer than a normal person would be, but still spooked to some extent.
I shake your hand and then going for a hug.
Yeah, he'll just follow suit. I mean, he'll just keep doing it. The longer this goes on, though, the more he is like... Axel at this point is keeping a very keen eye for scary actions at this point.
Yeah, I for a rather long hug.
Mm-hmm.
I then when we're about to like separate,
Mm-hmm.
I grab you by like the front of your chest plate,
Mm-hmm.
kiss you, and then try to stab you in the throat.
If you go to kiss me first, that won't fly. Are you trying to kiss him?
I try to lull him in, less more than seduce him. I'm trying to do something to throw him off.
No, I will say, like, if you go in for a kiss, he will immediately shove off.
No, if he's feeling awkward like that, then. But I will, like, while we're separating, do it then. I am trying to be very careful about how like twitchy you are on certain occasions. So if I notice that something was awkward, I mean, I can make a perception if you want.
I mean, if you were gonna go in for a kiss, Axel would very immediately like push you away.
Okay.
Like even trying to throw him off, he would be like, "That's fucking weird," and not the right time.
Well, I was trying to. Nothing. Must be the drink. Regardless, Axel. Trying to show you a little bit of a kindness, but if you want to finish this in the storage compartment, we can go ahead and finish this.
I do put up. I do create my shield again. And just staring at you, just give you the look. I don't want to fight you, and that was I don't want to die either. We just got here.
The storage compartment, or right here.
Um. Hmm. um. I sup- neither. He will just sit there, shield up. I mean, waiting for you to act, if you were going to.
Okay. Noir would like to. I draw my bow, and I switch places with Noir.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I guess we can roll initiative to be proper here if we're
Okay.
from the
Before we
combat
do
here.
that, then,
Yeah.
if things are about to get loud over there,
Yeah.
in the meantime, Vera, you went to go speak with Buffer.
Yeah. So is he still writing up these contracts?
Kinda. I mean, he's mostly like he's done like the drafts. Now he's just trying to like fix them up and make them look a little more presentable. He's not a document forger, so it's not going to look very good. But he's not like super busy or anything.
The documents are within my site though, right?
Yeah, he has them on
Okay.
like a little mini desk or whatever he has.
Okay.
He looks up as you're like sort of standing in the doorway. He says, "Yes, Miss Vera, what can I help you with?"
Shit. Fuck, why can I I'm so bad at remembering names. Those two kids, Alina
Alina
and Endel. Okay, that was his name. Vera kind of lowers her voice and she's like, if you're forging documents, perhaps it'd be worthwhile asking the two kids. I mean, assuming they could forge documents.
They can't write.
read.
Oh, you're right. Okay, Vera doesn't say that. I completely fucking forgot that.
Oh, you're making like a joke or something.
I thought
I was
so
like,
too.
you said that, and I was like, we were teaching them how to write a day ago.
And then Vera just walks up and like fucking mocks them. No, completely fucking forgot that shit. Great. Love the genuine confusion, all three of you at the same time.
You're like trying to pull a prank. I was like, that'd be kind of funny, I guess. I don't know. It seems kind of mean, but.
I was like, this only fucks us, right?
Oh man, that was funny.
I should have committed to it.
Whew.
Okay. Fuck, where was I? Great. Vera walks in, kind of closes the door behind her, and she goes, great. Can I ask you about this whole, Chosen One business?
You can, although, again, I guess you close the door. Again, I mean, I choose to serve Vala. You chose to serve Zafina, or rather, associate yourself with her might be a better word. There are differences, depending on who the Empyrean is. In general, though, chosens of Empyreans, they're chosen and they are allowed more freedom and to act as a conduit from their Empyrean than other clerics or paladins, other people linked with that Empyrean. It's quite the honor. There isn't a chosen of all Empyreans at any given point in time. It's not like it's something that has to be. It's something that the Empyrean chooses, which is hence the name.
Wonderful. And what role do you play? What exactly are you doing in the name of your chosen Empyrean? What acts do you carry out, I guess?
It depends. There are many tales of chosens. I'm frankly, it's often consigned more to folktale and mythology as opposed to, legitimate historical record. It depends on the Empyrean generally, though, as you saw with Miss Sokolov, her Empyrean, I assume, being the Empyrean of murder, betrayal, and that sort of thing, had her doing those sorts of acts. Although it seemed to me that it wasn't a matter of forcing her, more a willing collaboration. Your Empyrean, Zafina, I can't say I'm familiar with any tales of her chosen, so I'm not sure exactly what would be expected of you. Did you not speak with the avatar of Zafina and discuss this?
Well, it was kind of a quick decision, short on time, desperate for action type situation.
Well, As far as Empyreans that you could have chosen from, I don't think that Zafina is a particularly bad choice. She's generally regarded as a kind, if distant, Empyrean. So I don't know. I can't imagine that she'd have you doing things that you would not be yourself comfortable with. They might be inconvenient to you, but I wouldn't say they would go against your moral code, at least.
Well, that's comforting at the very least. I'm just really hoping that I won't have to start a cult or something.
Zafina is not known for sort of evangelical ways. Some Empyreans do attempt to expand their influence by gathering followers. Zafina, from what I understand, she's more just interested in the acquisition of knowledge.
Huh. The more you talk about her, the more I like her. Maybe this will work out for the best.
I will say it would be unusual for her to choose someone who did not at least share some of her interests and her personalities, her quirks, things of that nature. I think that perhaps you may have a poor understanding of the Empyreans, given that you're from a world who has none, correct?
Yes, correct. You're quite foreign to me.
Well, you will learn of her, she will learn of you. Hopefully your relationship develops and blossoms into something that will be for the good of all. That is my hope, at least.
And I suppose, I guess Vera kind of glances at the contract. So your plan, hopefully, if it works, is to bring us to your homeland, correct?
Well, that would be ideal. However, the first step will be to get you to our embassy.
Mm.
And at that point, hopefully sneak you out of the nation. So perhaps my homeland, perhaps just to the nearest safe haven. I will be honest with you, Vera. I have no idea if this is going to work. Even if we get you to the embassy, there's no guarantee that we'll be able to sneak you out of the nation. Um, my clan has some influence here, but not nearly enough to ensure such a thing.
Yes, that's what I honestly don't expect too much. But
I take heart in the fact that Zafina has chosen you, so I imagine she at least has some hope for your longevity, or perhaps she's just interested in what information she can get in the next 2 or 3 days. It's hard for me to say. The Imperiums
yes,
don't view time and lifespans the same way we do.
I suppose we will find out. Also, becoming the chosen one of the god, this isn't like sell your soul to them type deal, right? Right? How serious is this?
From what I understand, and it depends on who you speak to, but we don't technically know exactly what happens to souls having departed bodies after death. They cross over the veil through which, on the other side, the Empyreans supposedly dwell, but since none ever returned from that trip, we don't know for certain. That said, the followers of Zafina and the followers of most Empyreans, myself included, we choose to believe that after death, we go to the realms of those Empyreans that we served in life. So, yes, I imagine that is what is fated for you. However, I've never heard of a Outworlder chosen one before. It might be a special circumstance. I can't say.
Oh, well, guess I'll figure that out when I get there. All right. Well, I suppose we'll see if this plan works and then take it from there.
Certainly. I'll say at this point, well, actually, you guys played a couple games of Emperor's Gambit. Where does Vera go after this?
Going straight to her fucking room and not.
Okay.
involving
Buffer will
herself
leave
in
his door open. Okay, so a little bit of time passes, and Noir and Axel and Lily finish their games, and I guess you guys were rolling initiative when we left off.
Gabba gabba gabba. Gabba gabba goo. Oh, there's no active combat encounter.
You guys are so needy.
I'm sorry.
I rolled for someone. I rolled for Lily.
Hot damn.
All good. Got me the dub. We're good.
I actually
Alright,
forget my dex is pretty bad.
So, Lily, I suppose appropriately enough, you will initiate this.
Yeah, adds up.
Cool. While you guys kill each other, I'm gonna go use the bathroom.
Don't make me do this the hard way. Puts the shield down. Hello.
Oh, he's. I mean, he's just sitting there. I mean, I guess he. Just staring at you from behind the shield. It's like I don't know what to say. Would you just try to kiss me? He just utter confusion, sitting behind the shield.
Whatever I have to do to distract you from your untimely deaths. Figured you'd want to kiss at least a real woman before you died. Oh well. And Noir would like to start going under your bed.
Fuck this horror movie shit.
Creepy crawlies.
And he will. He can even make an attack with it, but he will if it affects Axel or not, and if he needs to make it or not. But he will spit acid on the bed to. Okay, Lily will knock an arrow. Noir does this, and he'll. If it takes one turn, she'll try to look for an opening in which he's a bit off balance when the bed falls from under him.
Okay.
Noir is immune to the acid, so even if he were to get it on himself, it would not matter. That's
Sure.
Spitting it.
Okay.
That's cute.
I guess make a. If you're using the acid spittle, the spit breath or whatever, you can go and roll its damage and mark off the ferocity for it. You don't need to roll to hit.
Okay.
Can he hit the bed above him? Are we sure?
I will target Axel just to roll it.
Sure.
And
I can add back the HP or whatever if you do damage to him.
it would miss anyway.
Okay.
Oh, he's wasting his bad
damage
rolls.
is
This
eight.
is bullshit.
Okay. So yeah, with 8 points of damage, these like beds, it's not like super, it's not superly structurally sound. You melt through the fairly thin bars that are holding the mattress up, and a fair amount of the mattress as well. And Axel does tumble down. I mean, I will say, you can go and roll your attack. Normally it'd be at disadvantage because he was technically prone, but we'll just have you roll straight as he is falling and off balance.
Fallen.
Okay, so unfortunately, yeah, in this fairly close quarters, the arrow sort of skims off the side of the bed there. Next up is Axel.
It's half your movement to get up from prone, right?
Correct.
Cringe. Okay. I stand up. Nora's now under me, huh?
I mean, I assume like Nora would not have like
No,
chosen-
Nor wouldn't have fallen under him, nor would have come back.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I didn't think I like fell on him. By God, he's over there now. There's two ways I can do this, and how do I want to do it? I'll go this route. I'm gonna go ahead and activate Zephyr Strike for my bonus action. So you just kind of see like a little gust of wind surround me, as I mean, how would this work in the room? Can I get past Nor to get to the door, or no? Because I can't technically move up according to the distance.
Lily would be blocking the door, but I don't know where. I don't think Nora would be.
Lily's blocking the door.
Lily would be, yes. Nora, I don't think would be.
Okay. I'll let you make an athletics check to try to. I'll say it's sort of like the shove action.
Yeah, Axel would
so-
shove. Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna say. I can do a shove to try to move Lily out of the way of the door.
Yeah, sure. So Lily, you can make an acrobatics or athletics check.
Do you-
Actually, you have to make an athletics check.
Do you get anything for shoving with a shield? Is that
No.
a thing? No.
No,
Okay.
nothing. Sure.
I didn't know if that would matter. Skills, athletics. Oh, thank God.
Okay.
So I
So you do manage to kind of like pull Lily out of the way.
Okay, I walk over to the door, kind of shoving her to the side with the shield, stepping out.
So Noir and Lily, you guys both get attacks of opportunity if you like.
No, because of Zephyr Strike.
Oh, never mind.
I thought about this. And as I'm stepping out the door, kind of running out, I give I don't want to hurt you, Lily, but I'm not gonna die. And I don't know which way I run. I mean, I guess to the left there's more space. 10, 15, 20. So there you go. And I'm, obviously looking at the door. That'll be my turn.
Okay. I'll say at this point, Vera and Buffer do hear what's going on. However, I'll give you guys one more round, and then they'll roll for the initiative as well if they'd like to join the combat, which Buffer will at least.
Hey, Vera says she don't give a fuck.
Lily sighs and goes, how the tables have turned. Our turn. And she will go out the door. Noir will as well. Lily will knock an arrow and shoot. He will roll his ferocity first. Okay. Lily would knock an arrow and shoot him.
Oh, it just hits. I have a 13 because I have a shield right now. Hold on.
Maintain concentration.
What kind of damage was this?
Radiant.
Okay, I'll hold off. All right.
Noir comes up and he will, I think, he will try to, so what does the help action do? Could I use a help action to, like, knock him prone or restrain him of any kind?
So that's not the help action. That's like it's a grappling action. So that's an athletics on Noir's part and athletics or acrobatics on Axel's part. If you succeed, you can choose to knock him prone, or grapple him, or shove him technically 5 feet.
I gotcha. Never mind. I won't use that primal exploit. I'm trying to see if
the help action in particular, it gives advantage on the next attack against that individual.
Oh, okay. Okay, he will make the spitting action from here. Missing Sag. And then he will go 5. Is already. Hold on. Where did the thing? Oh, there it is. Nope, that's not it. I don't know where the ruler is, whatever. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and at this point he is flying.
Okay, I will say in terms of the roof isn't really high enough for him to get out of Axel's melee range in like the hallway here.
No, just that he's not walking is more the thing.
Okay. All right. That's Lily's turn. Axel, you're up.
Oh, buddy, old pal. Oof. Yeah. He. I will run at least past Nor so I can get them both in my field of vision. And stop.
Attack of opportunity.
Nope. Zephyr Strike's still active. As long as Zephyr Strike's active, you don't get any attacks of opportunity.
Okay.
And I will turn around. Yeah. And literally action, bonus action, basically just talking or I guess action dodge. We'll say, look, I think we can genuinely be a team, Lily, but I will not just fall to you right now with no retaliation.
That is fine.
And that'll be it for that turn. So a dodge, a little bit of chatting.
Okay. Buffer, having heard all this, will go ahead and roll. However, you rolled pretty low. So
Ooh,
top
I'm
of the
out.
round is Lily.
Nice nat 1, nerd.
Lily knocks another arrow and steps further back. And hold on. We'll shoot.
I forget I have to say no on that thing.
And then we'll roll that. Noir rolls his ferocity.
Oh wait, did you roll that at disadvantage?
Oh, I did not.
For my dodge.
Oh, he did say, yeah. So go ahead and roll again to hit. We can keep that damage roll since it was a good damage roll.
That's fine.
There you
All
go.
right, you got me.
So you got him.
Oh, I imagine if I crit.
I know that was my plan. I wanted to get rid of the crit.
Yeah, that would have been rough. Noir will.
So if you're joining the combat, you can roll for initiative.
No, I wasn't. I just wanted to go to the one compartment over.
Okay.
Noir will fly there and spit.
Honestly.
Technically, Axel can have an attack of opportunity against Noir if you would like to take it.
This is still disadvantage, right? Like dodge keeps going.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank God.
Do you not have to roll for concentration for the other hit?
It does. It did it automatically. I rolled a
It
12.
did it, I think. Yeah.
I did it for.
The other one was a 24, and that one was a 12.
It did it for both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It should do it automatically whenever he takes damage.
And then that'll be it.
Axel, you're up.
Yeah. You see his shield fade away. Yeah, he can't. He can't just roll over and die. Yeah, it's fucked either way. Yeah. Yeah, you see the shield fade away off of his arm. And you see the previously seen large red glowing magical greatsword appear. Yeah, just because I really tried. And we'll run and we'll activate his Zephyr Strike action, so then he will get advantage on this hit and get an extra like 30 movement or whatever. Run over. Click. Whew.
I will roll. I roll a feral reflex. I don't know why it didn't pop up. Maybe I don't have enough though. Oh no. Oh, okay. Sorry.
It costs 2 ferocity, so you should have enough at the moment.
Yeah. So that would miss.
Spells. Oh yeah. Siege. That attack. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I will just
And
close the damage
my
thing.
AC is currently a 16.
Was that 40? Then I have.
Let's see, feral reflexes.
Plus 2, so 50.
Yep. Well, it's technically just for the triggering attack, apparently. So
Okay.
it went up to 15. Now it's back to.
I don't have a second attack, so you're good. I will. Yeah, just plant myself. Yeah, I go ahead and shut the door. Or I mean, does that take an action to shut the door behind me as I walk, or as I go through?
No, that is a free action.
Okay. As I go through, I shut the door. Yeah, staring at Lily with the sword, swinging and missing. Yeah, that is what it is. That's where I'm at.
Okay. Buffer's up, if that's Axel's turn.
Yeah. Where'd Vera go?
She disappeared.
He disappeared.
Don't worry about it.
She teleported out and went to get food.
Yeah.
She went to get some popcorn.
Want to get some McDonald's.
So he's one more space movement. Buffer does open the door.
God damn it, Buffer!
It's looking out on you guys. He did use his action to dash. You will make an insight check. He says, stop this. There's no need for violence. That'll be his turn. Lily, you're up.
Noir will. Hey, it's working. Noir will fly 30 feet. He'll roll ferocity. He would like to shoot at Axel from here. With Axel.
Okay. That's fine.
They're big doors, baby.
I mean, they're not that big, but Buffer's kind of on like the wrong side to provide any cover.
Damn it. Can't hit
I am back to 11.
Okay. Lily will take a step here, and back up.
I will use it on... Ooh. How much health do I have? Okay, yeah, I'll use my attack of opportunity there. Axel, I have to... Boop.
Oh my god, he can't not crit when he's fighting against players.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Holy Jesus!
She will continue backing up.
Oh my god.
And she will shoot. She will shoot you while she's closer.
I got you.
Well, she was there, but
Oh, there it is. I already used my reaction.
Alright. And then I'd step back, so that would be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yep.
Axel is up.
Yeah, there's like the safe option and then the not safe option. You know what I mean? Oh no, I would take my bonus action to swap, so that wouldn't work. How far is this? 20. Yeah, makes the most sense. Okay. I will. Yeah. I will run up, and hit her non-lethally. I'm not trying to kill her right now. I suppose hitting with the hilt of the sword, trying to just smack it against her, knock her out. Click. Shit, boy. All right. And then missing, step back my 20. And is Buffer in the doorway?
Do I get attack of opportunity on this?
It's still Zephyr, baby.
Oh god, you successfully completed summoning concentration.
What was the question?
Is Buffer in the doorway right now? Like I can't close the door again?
I mean, he wouldn't stop you from closing the door if you tried to close the door.
Okay,
You'd get out of the way.
Yeah, I would try to close the door again, running out. And running out, yelling, just like I tried to ask her to stop, sprinting outward. And that's, I have a bonus. I don't think I could do anything with my bonus action, though. Yeah, false life is an action. Alright, I'm chilling.
Okay. Buffer will look over at Lily. Yeah, he isn't really sure. He says, Lily, what's going on here? I demand an explanation.
We are settling a score, Buffer.
Um,
Oh
he
fuck! I could use a
will
bonus action.
prep an action. Lily, you're up.
Did have a bonus action I could have used. I'm pissed.
Noir would like to fly and open the door.
Sure.
He will roll his ferocity. Is Buffer a hostile?
Not unless you treat him as one.
Will not be. Okay. The moment the door opens and Noir flies here, Lily knocks another arrow and shoots it.
I could have had extra health. I threw. Yeah. I mean, I'll absorb elements, but I don't think it matters. Da, da, da.
And then Noir is going to probably just start biting him.
Okay.
Biting like his neck.
Sure. So that will trigger Buffer's prepped action. He puts up a hand and he says, Yudo did not give his life so that the one he saved will die so easily. As he casts a spell. However, that Noir thing does trigger, so 2 failed death saves on Axel.
To be clear, Buffer, he risked his life to kill Axel and Rachel and saves the rest of the people on this train, not to protect him.
Axel, at the start of your turn, you are healed for, let's see here, 7. Yeah, you're up. You have your turn if you it's up to you what you want to do.
Yeah. I mean, because I see that Nora's like biting me and shit. Oh wait, my absorb elements would have mattered now. So how much damage did it do? Oh, so I get my D6 of radiant. Yeah, I guess I'd probably just try to knock Nora out here. I don't have any other spells. Yeah, and I do have 2 resonance die, so I guess probably go that route. Okay, yeah. Well, I guess to be fair, how high up is Nor right now, since it is skybound at this point?
How what?
High up is Nor, because we're out of ceiling range.
He would have bit and then like went out of like the whatever he was before. It was like 10, I think.
Okay. If Nor is not within hitting range, coming up, Axel would see Lily and sprint at her, trying to knock her out again. Click.
Stop this, Buffer calls.
I yell, I'm trying, as I try to hit her, I guess like maybe in the stomach, like try to, knock the air out of her, just get her to collapse. And that was 20, so I will move 5, 10, 15, 20 more this way. And seeing Noir, will go ahead and bonus action my greatsword. You see it like and then fade back to his shield, turning and looking at Noir. As I kind of crouch down, trying to get it behind my shield as much as possible.
Okay. Buffer. Not really sure what to do. Yeah, he's very reluctant.
Excuse me.
He will close the door here, and try to hold it shut. He'll look back at Axel and say, "Run, Axel. Get as far as you can. I'll try to speak with her."
I was like,
and that'll be his turn. He will. You did non-lethal to Lily, right?
Yeah, no, I was not trying to kill her in any way. I was just like butt of the blade, knocking her down.
Yeah. He will not heal you for the moment then. Well, no, I'm sorry. Noir still gets his turn though.
Noir is gonna try and open the door.
Okay. Buffer will roll his very impressive athletics.
Oh, Nora's gonna fucking
I've been rolling so shit.
Buffer.
God, dude. I don't know what to tell
Oh
you.
my
Listen,
God.
Axel has fucking PvP plot armor, and I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Kill Axel. Yeah, so I mean, Noir tries to open the door, but Buffer, with an incredible amount of old man strength, manages to
Damn.
keep the shot.
Noir
yeah.
Noir would start spitting acid below the table or below the door.
Sure. I'll say like it would have been in his action to try to like open it contested like that. But for flavor at the moment, he can spit some acid around the corners of the door.
Yep.
Axel, you're up.
I do want to point this one out because I thought it was funny. Chat is referring to him as Buffer, which I thought was funny.
That is kind of funny.
So yeah, he will heed his warning, just keeping a shield out, moving 80. How do we? Can we remind me again? Like spacebar? No, spacebar moves him. Right click.
It's control, I think.
Control.
And then spacebar moves it.
There we go. Yeah. So he will zoom. Oh, I can't because of the door, but he will go here, open the door, and then go 5, 10, 15. Closing the doors behind him. That's it.
Sure. All right. Buffer will keep holding the door. What would Noir like to do?
Keep spitting acid. This time with a more potent one.
Okay. If you're using the spit acid thing, you can go ahead and roll your damage for it.
Give me a second, yeah. Do you want me to roll the damage for it?
Yeah.
Give me a second, Buffer. Let me do that again.
Sorry, Buffer. I have to doink you.
That's okay. At this rate, no, not Buffer. Let's be.
8.
Oh, I see. Oh yeah. Okay. So the door melts partially. I'll say it's not fully melted, like enough for him to get through, but another hit like that should melt it down enough that Noir will be able to fly through.
Okay.
Axel.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess he's going till he's got to stop. He's fucking Forrest Gumping the shit. Let's see. Wee. All right, so he will. So that one stays closed. He will boop.
Okay. Buffer will let the door come open. As I imagine, Noir is kind of like trying to tug on it and stuff.
Yeah.
He will say to Noir, Noir, I can help your master get up and cure her of her wounds, but I require you not to chase after that man in the meantime. Is that acceptable?
Noir looks at Buffer, then looks at the closed door, and he will make just a...
Does his rage overtake him?
It should be since I'm down.
Oh, that's true. I forget that's how Beastheart works. Yeah.
Is that actually okay? I didn't realize that.
If I'm unconscious, I think he attacks the nearest hostile until he can't.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
I think. But yeah. Above 10, he'll agree with. Of course, this will be the one that I roll high on. Above 10, he'll agree with Buffer. Below 10, he'll keep chasing. Okay.
So Noir seems to just sort of like go near Lily and like.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And it was technically Buffer's turn, so he will allow his turn to end, and Lily will heal for 2d6. Oop.
As Lily turns and sprints down the train.
Yeah, so as you get up, Lily, you technically will have your turn. And I'll say Noir, that was kind of his turn. He went in and messed with Lily. Buffer says, uh, Miss Lily, stop. I don't under. If you have, what score do you have to settle with him? Why are you trying to kill him?
He tried killing me, and then he killed Noir. Noir is not very happy, and neither am I. Frankly, I was expecting to go down and Noir would get to the finish as he should, but I assumed that someone intervened.
That's correct. There's been enough death on this train, and if even though he did try to kill you again, he's under the influence of a spell. And
I go up to him and I look down on him, as much as I can, still being short.
probably he still is a little shorter than you, even
Yeah.
short.
This is the
And
perfect guy.
I stare him. I pull my blindfold off once again, very glossy, wide over eyes, and I go, "You were not there, okay? Chopped off the head of Noir, killed Sergeant Ida, and I will not stand for this. I don't know
Oh.
how they do it here, and I don't care how they do it in your homeland, but I need justice."
Buffer will reply, Miss Lily, I was there. I saw everything. And I don't know how you interpreted Sergeant Eater's actions, but I saw him, and he was eager to save Axel. He didn't even know of the enchantment spell. He thought Axel was just being a foolish young man. And even with that, he thought to save him.
Did Eater not make any inclination of that, or like would I know?
I mean, the last session has been a little bit, but that was kind of Eater's thing, is that he thought that Axel was being fooled by a killer.
Yeah, I will say he did make a comment implying that.
Why am I? Oh, it's because it's my turn. Ah, perfect. Well, if you saw everything, then keep in your memory, Buffer, that he died, and he is now dead, and the man who assisted in his murder is still alive and roaming. No, but blame it all on your gods and your fancy spells, my little Buffer. Hide in your room as you've been doing. Please, please continue. If you'll excuse me, I have a score to settle, and I do not wish to make you my opponent. You have helped me, and I understand that, but please stay in your room and let the internal affairs work internal affairs out.
If you wish to continue receiving my assistance, we need to discuss this. You can't just make these life and death decisions on your own.
And who are you to play God, Buffer? Who are you to choose who lives, when, and where? Is that not blasphemy here?
I am not God. I am not Vala. I am merely a person who wants as many people to survive as possible, doing his best to ensure that outcome.
Oh, perfect. Well, let me see how many passengers got on the train. Oh, it appears that you have fallen by 2 bodies. 3 if you count Rachel.
He nods slowly, and he says, and I mourn for at least 2 of those 3. Like I said, I am not God. If I had the power, I would not have anyone die. But I am not. I merely do, and I merely did what I can.
You can't be there to protect him forever. You understand that?
Do I need to be? Why are you so insistent on this vengeance?
Anyone who hurts my animals will suffer. I point over to the corner where I tripped. I tripped there, in the blind, as a man dragging his greatsword carried on to me and went to chop my head off. I thought I killed myself, Buffer Lightai. If you don't find that the least bit endearing, or at least that my emotions are validated going through what I had to go through, I don't know if you understand, but me and Noir have a connection. The same feelings he feels, I feel. The same thing he sees, I see. Getting your head chopped off and living is not wonderful, and I keep all of his memories, but that is a sin that I carry with him now. and I don't know if my feelings are not validated to a little man like you, but I believe my anger is fucking justified.
I have no issue with your emotions. I think they're entirely valid. The only thing I would point out is that Axel feels his own share of guilt.
Oh,
As far as I'm
perfect.
concerned, you are both victims of the same individual.
Ah, perfect. Maybe his simple share of guilt will go ahead and bring Ida back. Come on, Buffer, let's check it out.
Again, I would lay his death at the feet of Rachel, not Axel.
Ah, perfect. Then let Axel lay on the feet of Rachel as well.
I don't know the words to reach you right now, Lily. I will not pretend to understand your anger. Perhaps if I had lost someone very close to me, I might feel something approximating it. All I know is I have a job here, and it's to prevent the loss of innocent life, and I don't believe that Axel is guilty of a crime worth death. If you can convince me otherwise, I'm willing to listen.
So far, his crime has resulted in your help and your healing him. Perfect. That is a wonderful punishment, Mr. Lightai. You know what? I will continue into my room and experience the same divine justice the gods will upon me. And if you ever talk to your stupid, merciful god, tell him or her that this is not the way things should be. Now, Mr. Lightai, you will sleep at some point, you will have to eat at some point, and when you gargle on your own blood, remember me and my name. And I close the door.
And I close the door. Super chill, like.
I suppose we'll end the combat for the moment. Axel, I assume in the meantime you were just running as far as you could get.
Yeah, he would assumedly get to. Yeah. I mean, he's probably going pretty much as far as he can get. I mean, although he probably actually stops in the like rich people's area, and just kind of holds the little corner of like looking around it to see who comes around the corner.
Okay. Does Buffer encounter Vera as he walks in that direction?
Yeah, if he's coming in this direction, Vera came over to speak to him specifically. I guess she'll kind of nod towards this compartment.
Yeah, he follows you in. He sits down. He looks fairly tired, like he's just passed a spell and engaged in some physical activity. He quickly says, Miss Lily wishes for Axel's death, and I believe possibly now mine as well. For attempting to stop her.
Vera does look a bit actually concerned about that last part. I mean,
No love.
she's violent enough that I'm not quite surprised, but what happened in the time that I was gone for you to incur her wrath like that?
Well, she and Axel were fighting, and I attempted to break it up. I gave Axel a chance to flee. Perhaps you saw him running like the wind down these halls.
Vera
She
kind of frowns
believed me
and-
playing judge, jury, and executioner, so to speak. She thinks it unfair that Axel live while good men like Sergeant Eater perish.
Well, Vera kind of frowns and she goes, "Why? You're a good person, Buffer, but why did you involve yourself in this exactly?"
He looks over at you and he says, same reason I killed you that day, Miss Vera. My goal is to preserve life.
Ugh. Well, I'd rather you not die. If I had to choose between you and one of the others, I would rather you not die. Please do not involve yourself in this further.
I don't know what your sense of justice is, Miss Vera, but fights, hunting men down aboard a train. Frankly, I'm not convinced that Lily is particularly interested in justice. I think she's just angry, and justifiably so. I don't take that away from her. But I
Yes,
can't
well.
let what I view to be maybe not blameless, but certainly not guilty of all that Lily claims. I can't let that man perish simply because I fear for myself.
Yes, well, the only thing that's going to stop Lily is death. Or the death of Axel.
Buffer looks very concerned at your stating this. You truly believe this, even after having known them not terribly long?
I believe Lily won't stop, yes. If I had to choose between Axel dying or living, I suppose I would let him live. I don't particularly care either way. I do agree that he isn't quite as guilty as Lily believes him to be, but at the same time, Lily is far too violent.
Buffer looks very, very concerned. He sort of he steeples his fingers together and kind of leans forward. And he says, "When I spoke to the Avatar of Vala, she told me that I had done well in her eyes and I should continue to use my best judgment. I think I realize now that that was a test, a challenge. I don't know what my best judgment is in this case. And we don't have much time to figure it out." He sort of gestures outside as, I'll say, midday is approaching now at this point, leaving you guys just a few scant hours until you arrive in Duran. He looks at you, Vera, and he says, "You say that you would let him live, but that either he will die or Lily will die. Given that choice, which would you choose?"
Ah.
Damn.
Vera frowns and she goes, "That is entirely why I was staying out of this in the first place. I truly don't believe this is my jurisdiction to decide which one of them lives and dies. I mean, if I had wanted to choose one of them, I would have joined that pointless fight."
Well, here's the way I view it. Lily, despite her violence and her threats, did act to save the train. She fought bravely against Rachel and Axel when he was on her side. And despite her tendencies, I'm reluctant to pass judgment upon her. I fear that would make me no better than her.
Mm-hmm.
Axel, on the other hand, did, under the influence of magic, help the enemy, and resulted in Eater's death, although, again, I would not blame him for that. On the other hand, I think that Axel is not as violent and less likely to be a harm to the world as Lily.
It's fucking got you there. Vera nods, and again, this is entirely why I was staying out of this. I truly believe that there are just some times where you have to acknowledge you have no control of the situation, and you shouldn't involve yourself in such things.
Well, I do have some control over the situation. To be fair to me, they began the fight right outside of my quarters where I had my room open, or my door open. If they wished to settle this in private, they should have done so.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you there. Listen, let's go check on Axel. All right, we can continue this.
All right. Buffer will follow Vera. I can move you.
'Cause I didn't go all the way, but
Oh, you didn't? Where would you like to end up, Axel?
I was stopping in like the rich cabin to look around the corner so then it'd give him a chance to see who's coming.
Okay.
And avoid any long range arrow shots for no reason in particular.
Yeah.
In case anyone decides to
He went far.
Do some target practice.
Yeah.
Where is Axel?
I'm in the like sitting cabin, the
Oh.
fancy sitting cabin.
Scrolled right
Oh.
by you.
Oh, yeah.
Wee.
Woo!
Yeah. So Buffer follows Vera.
You can probably see Axel kind of poking his head around the corner here with his shield up, ready to go.
Axel, perhaps we should discuss this in the cabin over the eating cart, the dining cart.
I stand up, still nervous that maybe Lily convinced y'all to kill me. So just like, okay, but being very cautious.
Buffer will go sit in the dining cart. Wait.
Oh, right. I'm dumb. To the right. Hey, don't get ahead of me. No cutting line. What's wrong with you?
Very rude.
Exactly. Shut the door. No, I'm just kidding.
shuts door in front of Axel. Yeah. If y'all sit, where are you sitting, Vera?
I'm sitting next to Buffer. You can sit across from us.
Okay, Axel will be standing right here.
Well,
Shield is not up, but it's like just at his side. He still has it active.
Buffer will begin. He says, I spoke with Miss Lily and Miss Vera afterwards. Lily was very, very angry and expressed a great desire to kill you, which Vera seems to think that either you will die or Lily will die by the end of this. I'm hoping we can find an outcome where that isn't the case, but I'm not confident that we'll be able to. Lily, I may be able to take her in a standard fight, but she did threaten to, well, murder me in my sleep, I believe was the implication. I can't say for sure whether or not she meant it or she was just speaking threats, but considering her violence against you, it does concern me.
Yeah, having stayed like pretty neutral faced the whole time, not really showing much. Just because, I kind of was getting that feeling as well.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know much to say. I understand where she's coming from. I just don't even know what to do. I don't even feel as if I can apologize. I don't even really understand what happened myself.
Well, he looks over at Vera. I'm going to have to make some very difficult decisions in the next couple of hours. Do you have... yeah, Vera?
No. Continue.
I don't want to continue. He looks over at you, Axel, and he says, Axel, I imagine you know this, but for every individual who is like Rachel in this world, for all the bad, there are 10 people like Endel and Alina that you met, like myself or Sergeant Eater.
He does look up when you mention the kids.
Who truly wish simply to live as best they can, avoid these sorts of horrible situations, move along with their lives as they will. If you were to stay in this world for a longer period, what would your goals be? What sort of man would Axel become, do you think?
Having not really given a chance to like think about this himself,
The type of man to fall in love within 5 days.
he stands there. He was fucking under a spell, guys.
No, I'm just bullying you.
It was like 6 or 5.5.
Yeah, cut me some slack. Yeah, he looks at the floor for a while, and then I look up, like, well, to be honest with you, I don't know. We haven't been here that long. don't know if I can trust very many people here at all. I really don't know if I have an answer for you right now.
Buffer lets out a long sigh, and he says, Axel, I'm not asking you what your choice and career path is. When it came down to it, when you broke from her spell, what did you do and why did you do it?
Well, my instinct was to cut her head off, and while I did strike her, I was not strong enough. And
Why was that your instinct?
Well, I guess you could say I don't really like people, forcing their will upon me.
Buffer will make an insight check.
He's been rolling rather low on these.
Oh, that was pretty good.
Slightly better.
So what is he looking for?
He is looking for a sign
That he's not going to be a bad guy?
yes. Basically,
Yeah.
he's thinking, did you do that because she messed with your head, or did you do that because she forced you to fight your friends? And kill them?
The instinct was because she was messing with his head. But, well, I don't know. I guess I don't know. I don't want to give Buffer too much. I mean, off the instinctual hit, it would have been because, like, he is not able to do, like, what he feels is right. And like, obviously that stems from him having to, like, murder his friends. Or I guess knock them unconscious, rather. But yeah, so, like, while it does stem from that, the initial instinct was off of him, like snapping out of being like, oh, who the fuck are you? And then just like taking her out. So, take that for what you will, where, like, there might have been good intent, in the background of it, but the instinct was from,
Fine. Buffer will take a different tact. All right. So beyond the initial moment, you've had a whole night and most of a day to reflect. How do you feel about your experiences these past 6 days?
I think back and, well, it was definitely a lot thrown on us. I do find this world very intriguing at a bare minimum. And he looks at his shield on his hand, and then does, like, make it like pee pee poof away. So you see it kind of, fade, sparkle off, whatever. And then looking at his hands, I do want to know at least where this all comes from. And I mean, as for people, I guess everyone except Rachel really wasn't too bad. And then he does perk up a little bit. I did, while I am not necessarily great at it, I did enjoy trying to teach the kids how to write, but I don't know if that's really a great career path I need to go down.
Oh, well, I can become a teacher.
Buffer grins and he nods his head. He says, that would not be my highest recommendation in terms of your future.
But yeah, I mean, I guess as for the past few days, other than Lily trying to kill me, which I do want to be clear, I understand. There's a reason I'm not trying to kill her back. But
Lily is
Writing notes and doing something during this.
just the
But
No.
you'll continue.
she sneezes at the sound of the thought.
For a name being
Yeah. But yeah, Axel gives I understand why she is trying to kill me. So I don't necessarily
Alright,
hold it against her. Yeah, he just kind of goes into his little mumble.
Perhaps two more questions. Axel, I mean, I'm not certain how aware you are of this. I believe you are at least somewhat aware. Your Outworlders, they have a Mana Stone at their core. Are you aware of this?
We are kind of aware of this, right? Like it's sort of like we've been told it, or in the note or something.
I
Did we ever
think
get told
Enoch
this?
was actually the one who explained it to
Oh,
Lily.
okay. So Axel has no idea. Okay, yeah. So I look at you, then I'm just puzzled, and I'm like, no.
All right. Well, to summon Outworlders to begin with, you need a Mana Stone of some quality. Forming around that Mana Stone is, he gestures to you and to Vera, your bodies. And inscribed on the Mana Stone, and this is purely a divine from the Empyreans sort of thing, are instructions, pathways for the mana to flow through. He gestures to you and the shield at your side. He says, the magic, the instincts, the fighting prowess and potential, while some of it may come from the mind of the person summoned, a fair amount of it comes from the Mana Stone itself. Imparted knowledge, you might say. At the moment, yourself and Vera and Miss Lily, I would estimate that your Mana Stones are not terribly activated. They're fairly low quality. That said, over time, you may be able to absorb mana and activate more and more of those inscriptions on the Mana Stone at your core. If you do that, and Outworlders sometimes do this in a fairly short period of time in comparison to the years of training it might take an individual from this world, there's a potential to gain a great amount of power in a very short amount of time.
Axel, throughout this conversation, I am becoming very intrigued and staring very intently at Buffer.
The reason I'm telling you this is because it is a not insignificant factor in my decisions as to how you would treat such power if it came into your possession. How would you use that power, Axel?
I mean, probably the same way I used power in my previous life, to make sure I get to live a comfortable one.
How would you describe your comfortable life?
Well, I suppose not having to... Funnily enough, having enough power to where I don't have to fight for what I need, but rather I'm just honored and respected and veered.
All right. Vera, is there anything that you'd like to add to this?
Quite honestly, I'm just here to make sure you stay alive, Buffer.
Well, I do appreciate that, especially since I intend to go talk with Miss Lily next.
Are you, you sure that's a great idea right now?
I agree.
I believe
with
I
Axel.
owe her. I believe I owe her the opportunity to have the same questions asked that I asked you.
Fair
Whether or
enough.
not she
Okay.
can answer them is up to her.
Okay.
Buffer will somewhat he glances back at Axel and says, Axel, I'd recommend staying away for the moment. Look, are you following? Oh yeah. In the meantime, yeah.
Lily, I imagine has paper from Stark, right?
Yeah.
Assuredly.
Yeah, Lily would write 3 notes, one to herself that is a small memoir of the things that happened, in case her reasoning for this is in case she is brainwashed and or controlled. She wants to remember people that either have wronged her or just her story in general, so she doesn't forget. For now, it is kind of a description of what happened last night and the start of a list, so to speak. Later, hoping to actually become a journal. It just won't be loose pages, but for now, now that she knows that brain wash and control is out there. The two other notes are going to be written with obviously Noir now that he can see, or now that we don't have to fake that I can read and write as long as Noir's like on my shoulder or something. I would like to write that. Be careful with Axel, not trustworthy. Betrayed us, but like not a good guy. Like a lot of bad things about him. And then ending it with for now just stay away. And I would like to put the notes below the kids' doors.
Oh, that's so fucked.
Okay.
The other note will be going below Irene's door. And then I will be going back to my room and continuing to write my memoir for the moment.
Okay. Was there anything in particular for Irina's note, other than the?
It was the same thing as well as adding a couple more, namely on betrayal, cheating, and things like that. On the bad side of Axel.
Okay. All right. Lily does this. Vera, unless I assume you're walking with Buffer.
Yeah, like I said, just making sure he stays alive.
Okay. He walks down, and he knocks at Lily's door, and he will announce himself. He says, "Lily, it's Buffer. I'd like to speak with you."
I have my bow drawn.
You alone?
No, Miss Vera is with me.
But the both of you regardless.
Axel is on the other side of the train, as far as I'm aware.
I open the door.
Miss Lily, I'd like to speak with you for a few moments. I will explain. I'm not sure how much you're aware, but there's a mana stone at your core, at the core of all Outworlders. It contains instructions, basically. I assume that you are not as skilled an archer back in your world as you find yourself to be here. The stone is the reason for that, along with the reason for your connection with Noir and your other powers and abilities that you would not have possessed back at home. When given more mana, these mana stones can grant their users even more and more abilities.
I put my hand up and I go, all right, it's looking like it's going to be a long one. And I grab Noir like a little baby and leave the door open, but go and sit on the one of the ends of my bed with Noir in my lap. Come in, come in. Hey, it won't kill you to sit down.
Okay. Buffer does go in, and he does sort of collapse into the chair, gratefully. He looks over at Vera, thinking that he should probably offer her the chair.
Vera waves him off like, no.
Oh my god, I play puzzle with this. There we go.
I will say at this point, Lily, you would have had a time for a short rest if you'd like to roll your hit dice.
Yeah.
Same with you, Axel. Buffer continues. He says, "The reason I'm telling you this is because Outworlders, unlike many in this world who must train for many long years to gain significant power, given the right set of circumstances, using your mana stones, you can gain a great deal of power in a relatively short amount of time. I would like to ask you, Lily, were you to gain such power, what would be your intentions? What would you use it for? What are your goals generally in this world, should you have a future in it?"
I take a bit to think of my answer. More than likely, I have two options that come to mind. Well,
No, no, I think I have one now, if it goes according to plan. I wish to speak and rise, at least, hopefully quickly soon, in the ranks of the Emperor. He is one of the few beast hearts, and I think he understands that even in this world, animal cruelty and certain things need to be protected. That will both achieve me a good life and Noir a good life, as well as dealing with the natural populace. If there are other races that are more kindred to nature, maybe I will try them instead.
All right. He lets out a long sigh. He says, well, Lily, and I hope you won't take offense at me asking these questions, but I feel I'm obligated to. I spoke with Axel earlier for a similar conversation, so I'm trying to give you the same opportunities that I'm giving him. Trying to be fair as best I can. When you were fighting with Axel and Miss Sokolov, what were the reasons for your fight with them?
Self, um, what's it called?
Self-preservation.
Yep, self-preservation. Without me, there is no Noir, and that cannot be. As well as I typically like staying alive, so
So,
that-
you know.
All right. All right, Miss Lily. I have difficult decisions to make. I appreciate your forthrightness and I believe your honesty with your answers. You expressed an interest, well, two interests, first of all, and Miss Vera believes that you mean this entirely. You do intend to kill Axel, yes?
whether it be now, years from now, yes, he will perish.
Vera kind of perks up and she looks at Buffer. Oh, she said years from now. If it's years from now, we can let it go, right, Buffer? Come on. Vera doesn't fully believe Lily, but she just wants Buffer to let this go.
Buffer grins. He says, I do not intend to stand guardian over Axel for years on end. No, that is not my intention of what to do with my life. That said, you expressed that your goal ultimately would be to potentially serve the Emperor, rise in those ranks, and generally look after the well-being of nature and I suppose animals. I get that sense from you.
Correct. Like I said, I do not know everything. We encountered some other races, and if there are other races that are more attuned to nature, that is where I will be headed.
Yeah, there certainly are, in my admittedly limited knowledge of the world. There are other races that I would say live more akin to nature than those in the Empire, but the Empire is perhaps not the worst place to start. In terms of your priorities, Lily, if, say, Axel was sent to another land and you were in the Empire, pursuing your goals as you stated them, where on your priority list does hunting and killing him, where on your priority list is that?
It depends how much time has passed.
What do you mean by that?
If it is right now, he would still not be number one on the list, but he would be high up there. If it was years from now, maybe less. I cannot tell the future. Maybe you chosen ones can.
All right. All right. Thank you, Miss Lily. I appreciate your honesty, like I said, and oh, I suppose there is one other matter. You did threaten my life earlier as well. Where on your priority list might that be?
Yeah, so you did do that, by the way.
That is only marked if I am stopped again from my goals.
All right. Well, I suppose, even if it was for the purpose of self-preservation, you, Miss Vera, and Axel risked your lives for me, and I have already stated that I am willing to risk mine for yours. I have made a decision. Um, Again, I can't guarantee that any of us will survive disembarking this train, but I will do my best to ensure that you and Axel both live. And Buffer will stand up and head out of the cabin. And unless there's something anyone else would like to do in the few hours that you have, we can skip ahead a little bit.
I'll say Axel wise, he while it wouldn't be smart of him, I can't imagine he got like I imagine he is literally sitting in this chair napping of like he didn't sleep much last night, is exhausted from everything, and is just like crashed out right here.
Okay. The train slowly comes to a halt. And
Can I use the bathroom real quick?
that's good.
No.
Yeah, we'll take a quick break.
God said yes, so he overruled you.
I don't know what we were talking about.
She said, "Can we go to the bathroom?"
Okay. I'll be back as well then.
So, chat, how are we feeling? What are the vibes? I get to actually address y'all. Get a minute ad. Boom, sniped. Let's see here. Dun, dun. First, let me hop out the motherfucking Porsche. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Do you get it? Where is what I'm looking for here?
Okay. I am back.
He's
We'll go ahead and
back.
set up the thing here. So I have to activate it. Wow, a new map. You guys are off the train. This is exciting.
We did it!
So you guys find yourselves having the train having stopped. It lowers to the ground with a bit of a thud. A loud voice, like unnaturally loud, calling from outside, says, "Lily, Axel, Noir, and Vera, please." Basically, they instruct you to go to like the next, like the cart down from the train engine and disembark there. Yeah. Buffer, obviously, he will go along with you as well, though. Do you guys comply with these instructions?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll be following suit.
I guess Vera isn't back yet. We will wait for her. I do want to have everyone's approval on this.
To listen to the instructions that will probably get us killed if we don't.
Or killed if you do.
Or killed if you do. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. True.
Amen.
Amen to that,
Bing
brother.
bong.
Bing bong.
Every time I fucking leave, my cat has to just take my goddamn chair. Oh, is Hudson still gone?
No, he's back. He was waiting for
Yes,
you.
I am back. I am back.
I'm here.
So, Vera, there was a very loud voice as the train came to a halt, instructing all the Outworlders to basically go to the next to the front of the train and disembark there. The other two are following this instruction. Are you following this instruction?
Yeah. Don't see why I wouldn't. I'll just wherever Buffer is.
Buffer leads the way out, kind of with his hands up, just to show that he doesn't mean any harm. And he calls out. Seeing this guy in front of him, he ignores him. He calls out to the distance. He says, "I am Ambassador Light Eye of the Ur Clan. I would like to speak with whoever's in charge here."
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, go and make a persuasion check.
Oh God.
I'm just glad that this guy's optimistic. That makes me feel good about the situation.
Yeah, seriously. Don't go in the
Um,
fucking laundry basket. Fucking idiot
The
cat.
guy in front of you guys, and just to describe him a little bit, he's just wearing this very fancy white robe, and he has the steel mask on, completely hiding his face. He speaks in response, and he says, "Ambassador Light Eye, I suggest you step aside. We need to speak with these individuals before any additional conversations may occur."
Oh,
Um,
how about no?
Buffer, he glances back at you guys, and he looks pretty nervous. Like he's kind of pale right now.
Yeah. I was like, I will go ahead and kind of. I was like, if he doesn't stop me, walk forward. I was like, I don't know where the most logistical place would be. But I would literally just walk forward and say, yeah, you need us.
The individual, his helmet sort of turns towards Buffer again, and he says, "Ambassador Light Eye, I suggest you step back onto the train." Buffer, steeling himself, sort of draws himself up and says, "I will repeat my request. I wish to speak with whoever is in charge. These individuals are my lawful bodyguards, and as such have certain rights." The individual will look back at Axel, no obvious response to Buffer, and ask Axel, "Do you have an individual to identify, Or-
Oh, good.
or have there been deaths on the train such that fulfill your mission?"
We have already fulfilled the mission.
Okay.
I probably dash.
The individual, like, he looks.
I was like, I'm trying to act as like big and confident as I can. Concerned that Lily's behind me, but understanding I might just get my throat slit right now, and that's the world I live in.
Yeah. The individual will look once more at Buffer and say, "Ambassador Light Eye, get back onto the train now. This is not a request." And Buffer will make a. Okay. Buffer, he like almost involuntarily takes a step back, but he repeats himself loudly, his voice cracking a little bit, doing his best Karen impression of "I would like to speak to the manager." Let's see here. Very well then. A voice calls out from behind one of the areas there, as Turtle.
My
emergency
guy!
have been crouching.
Oh.
Can I give him a hug?
Oh yeah, give him a hug. See how that goes.
I missed him. I miss Turtle.
He looks at the man and gives him a nod and says, "I will deal with this. Keep your men in position."
Oh God.
The individual takes steps back, sort of retreating to this formation of Halcyon Legion. Also, and he was just sort of sitting there that whole time, or standing there, his weapon out and ready. There is a Halcyon Legion member. He's huge. He's like 7 feet tall. This golden
Love that.
plate mail. He looks very impressive.
Oh no.
Turtle, he leans against the little post there, and he says, "So, who was it?"
Well, it was Rachel Stockholm. Was that the proper? What was
Stockholm, correct.
Nice, nice. Love that. Yeah, it was the Russian name. I don't remember. But yeah, it was Rachel.
Okay.
Was
All
it?
right.
I thought she was Russian. I thought it was the whole thing.
Not much of a background on that one, so pans out. Glad it wasn't one of the commission members that would have put a real wrench into the works. That said, Mr. Light-Eye, how much do you know, sir? Buffer looks at him head on and says, again, I will repeat, I have documents that state that these are my lawfully hired bodyguards. I don't know how much your legion has an interest in them, but I can assure you, sir, they will not be your problem for very much longer. And he kind of tries to emphasize his words there, as he will make another persuasion check.
God, roll high for him. Okay, that's decent.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
Turtle lets out an annoyed, an annoyed noise. He says, "Is this true? You found yourself into the employ of a dwarven diplomat in the course of your trip. Is that right?"
Is he looking at me? Does he expect a response?
He's
or-
kind of looking at all three of you.
Okay. Well, yeah. You know, it would have been a tough job for just the three of us.
Well, looks like you sure know how to pick 'em. Mr. Light-Eye, as you are a diplomat, and I would hate for anything to happen to you, I'll give you a final warning. Get back on the train.
Ooh, love that.
Oh no.
Seeing Turtle, Axel will now get ready to run as well. having Turtle out in front of the face, Axel's got that dash on lock.
God.
Anything you'd like to say, Vera? Vera or Lily, I thought you guys might want to say something.
I'm waiting for Buffer's response as he addressed him directly.
I prepped the dash.
Okay.
God, yeah. I mean, like, Vera kind of puts a protective hand on like Buffer's shoulder. Also, just getting ready for the worst.
If Buffer doesn't say anything like pretty like responsively, no, Axel won't say anything. He doesn't know the situation we're in.
I would have my bow in my hand.
Okay. I will point out Lily, as I imagine Noir is sort of examining the area. I'm sure you kind of spotted them, but there are individuals with bows sort of stationed along the train, heading backwards.
Yeah.
Buffer shakes his head. He says, "These individuals completed your task fairly, and there's no need for any word of them to get out. I'm sure that there are binding oaths that might be taken to ensure their silence, aside from the final silence of death. I think they deserve that much. I'm willing to risk myself to secure it. Tell me, are you willing to risk a diplomatic incident?" Does anyone have anything to add to that?
Sure, I'll try to help Buffer. He's
Nice
doing
shot.
this. He's carrying this. Vera nods along with Buffer and she goes, "Yes, indeed, we do deserve a chance. We carried out your work for you, took care of a threat to your empire, and our reward is death. As Buffer said, he would take us off of your hands and you'd never see us again."
Okay. I will let Buffer roll with advantage.
Please roll high.
Oh,
Yeah!
there it is.
So charismatic. Oh my god, Buffer.
Turtle looks around He says, there could be oaths that might be taken to ensure silence. Not as reliable as death. Fine. I need to speak with someone. And Turtle sort of walks off hurriedly. And as he's walking around,
Yeah, I want to say if he's walking around, I'm looking around mainly at the archers right now to make sure they're not like. Are they holding arrows at us at the
no,
ready notched?
they're not like drawn.
Okay.
Bows, but they are like they're observing you guys basically.
Okay, yeah, I'm waiting for a single person to make a move, so I'm walking or like kind of swiveling my head around.
Okay. Turtle, you see him walk over to this guy in a robe, and he's like speaking pretty animatedly with him. It takes about 10 minutes or so as the person over there appears to cast some spells in the interim. And Turtle looks increasingly like he's like pacing back and forth. He's anxious. It takes about 10 minutes. And he heads back down here. And he says, well, Mr. Buffer, it appears that your ambassador likes you a little better than we had been led to believe. These three will take oaths. They will not speak of their involvement in the Empire to anyone. If they agree to take these oaths, and if they ever choose to break them, the consequences will be severe. Do you three understand this?
I promise you, none of us ever want to speak of this again.
I nod my head.
Axel nods and says yes.
Turtle, like he's wearing a mask, although you can see his eyes at least. He looks pissed.
It's fine. I'll come after him later. Don't worry about it.
Cry about it.
He nods and he says, "Very well. You will keep these three at your manor. If we find them outside of their manor, fair game once again. Until the oaths have been administered and they've been safely smuggled out of our empire."
Little turtle bitch is on his back.
He glances back and just starts to walk away. He says, please, violate that curfew.
Axel does smile at him when he says that.
Turtle, he makes like a whoop whoop, like everybody, it's time to go. And the individuals around the train slowly begin to depart. Turtle quickly disappears through the northern entrance. And as he does, the others clear out as well. And three individuals enter from the main area. Two stocky dwarven warriors and a fairly large dwarf. He's probably like 5'4", 5'5", which is pretty huge for a dwarf and incredibly muscular. They approach. This guy's no longer here.
I was gonna ask. I was like, is he just vibing? Like, is he just, chilling?
He was stationed there. He didn't want to move. It's inconvenient. The two doors stand by as the man over there, he grips Light Eye in a tight hug, putting his massive hammer down at his side. He looks over at you three and says, "So these are the Outworlders then? Not a very impressive lot."
Axel kind of bows up the chest a little bit and he's like, oh, well, maybe more impressive than you think.
He looks you up and down and snorts, and he says, respectfully, sir, I think a strong mountain wind would flatten you.
Seeing this guy's stature, Axel does concede this one, possibly for the first time. also just, being not mentally there completely. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and he's not being like particularly mean about it.
No, yeah.
Buffer gestures. Yeah.
My internet cut out for a second. Who called who small?
Rommel called me small.
Oh, why'd he do that? What did you say?
Well, he said that we're not impressive, and Axel buffed up and was like, we're more impressive than you think. And he was like, bro, a wind could knock your ass over. And I was like, okay.
Just some classic trash talk. Buffer gestures for you guys to follow him. I assume you do so.
Yeah.
Can you move my token Hudson Haven as I'm loaded?
Yeah, we're moving. We're switching maps anyway. As soon as I find it, I think it's this one.
Are they particularly chatty on this walk?
No. In fact, they're kind of hurrying you guys along.
Okay.
Like you getting to the manor as quickly as possible. They're already here, so they don't need to. Yeah.
Trimmer sits is
The
cool.
individual- These two sort of stand at attention on either side. The ambassador heads in. He says, Light Eye, I assume you'll tend to our new guests here. I have some work I need to deal with. You've caused quite the mess. I need to clear it up. As he enters the room, kind of disappears inside. Buffer looks back at you guys, inviting you in. Oh, here, we'll always forget to add the global illumination.
I was like, it is very hard to see anything.
Yeah. You guys see it's a fairly large manor. Decent size. Yes. He invites you guys in. I suppose just into this little waiting room here for now, as he's not really sure where else to put you. He's kind of wringing his hands. He says, well, seem to be safe for the moment. I'll see what I can do about arranging your accommodations and food, I suppose.
The map is loaded, finally.
Wait.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at this stuff. I mean, seeing this huge sword, checking it out.
Yeah, it is about like 10 feet tall or long or so.
Is it encased in any glass?
It is not. It's just on these. It's like lifted up a little bit from the table there
Okay.
with these little like metal things. But
I want to try to pick it up.
okay, you can make an athletics check.
Is the map supposed to be this dark?
It shouldn't be dark anymore for you, unless it's taking a bit to load.
Okay, let me read.
I mean, there are
once
walls
more.
blocking your vision.
I would not refresh. I would probably just let it vibe.
You're like,
Okay.
With the 14, you managed to pick it up without like just dropping it or causing a mess. However, you
Yeah.
aren't really able to like heft it properly as a sword.
Okay.
Like you're picking up like a barbell basically.
Yeah, I go to pick it up a little bit, and I guess it lifts, and I immediately put it back down. I'm like, all right, we won't try that again. Yeah.
Okay. As you
Dude,
do
she's
this,
busted.
the door opens. I don't know what to tell you. It is what it is. She is carrying a number of plates with a variety of drinks. You see, like, there's tea there, there's alcoholic beverages there, there's like milk, there's juices. She looks over at all of you guys and says, "Wasn't really sure what to get you. What's your pleasure?"
I go up, get alcohol, and then get milk for Noir, I guess.
Okay.
Thank you, mademoiselle. Milk and alcohol for me.
She just offers you the tray and she says, "Grab what you want."
Okay, I grab what I want and I say thank you and go back to my seat.
he just grabs a nice calming cup of tea.
Is there any food on this tray, or is it all drinks?
All drinks.
Okay. I will grab probably just a water right now. And be like, hey,
There's no water.
Oh, there's no water. Okay. What? Just like other sodas and such. I mean, what's the?
There's juices, there's teas, there's alcoholic beverages, there's milk.
Is there anything that I think looks like and or resembles Gatorade?
one of the what you assume
Or an
is
energy
juice.
drink, one of the two.
Yeah, one of the juices is like a sort of unnatural, or at least you would associate it with like an unnatural, like bluish color.
Okay. Yeah, Axel, not knowing if he'll be living much longer and still somewhat fearing it, goes ahead and just grabs that and goes, "Oh, thank you." And I don't know how much trouble it is, but do y'all have any just like small snacks or something? I haven't been able to eat a whole lot.
She glares at you.
Okay,
And
if she gives me a look, I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry. You don't have to. I was just I apologize."
she lets out like a high pitched like snort and says, "Humans," and walks off, closing the door behind her.
All right, I go. I go.
No food for you.
Yeah, how fucking dare I? Listen, I said if it's not too much trouble, I was trying to say you don't have to. So what is this thing right here next to me?
It's just like a drawer, like it's a what do you call it? Um, cabinet.
Okay, he won't mess around too much with that. He'll just sit there and enjoy the sword and the bison thing.
Buffer steps inside. He lets out a sigh. Says, "Well, I've arranged for your rooms. Fortunately, the manor is not terribly full up at the moment. It's just the guards, the maid, the cook, and the ambassador, of course, and I suppose myself and you three now. They're arranging for a proper feast soon. The cook is working quite efficiently, I must say. I hired a good one here."
Yeah. So speaking of Buffer, I just want to. I apologize if you're, the lady that came and brought us drinks is upset. I didn't know asking for a snack was considered rude here, and I apologize.
Oh, yeah, dwarves don't really snack. We eat large amounts of food.
Gotcha.
The meal is considered to be, quite important.
Okay, gotcha. I will keep that noted.
Are there any other cultural differences we should be made aware of?
Don't refer to our stature as small
Got
or
it.
diminutive.
Wasn't
That sounds like a pretty logical one.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are other things, but it's difficult for me to say
Yeah.
exactly what your expectations are.
Hey, we'll get in trouble with them as we go. Yeah.
Another individual enters the room. A dwarf, he's carrying around a bunch of paper. He's currently has like a little clipboard type thing with a piece of paper on it. He goes in, says, "All right, proper names. Be quick about it."
Oh, my name's Axel.
Blackwell.
Lily.
And your clans, or families, or whatever you humans call it.
My last name is Blackwell.
He scribbles it down.
Ooh. Yeah, Axel hesitates and doesn't say anything for probably like 5-ish seconds. Goes, great sword.
The scribe like looks over at you doubtfully, but he does write it down.
I think, look at Nora and go, Nora.
He writes it down. He says, "All right," and he begins like flipping through some pages. He says, "I imagine I can fill this in myself for the most part. You don't mind me putting your signatures on things, do you?"
Not at all.
Good. That'll speed things up dramatically. That said, I do need to ask. There's an oath to be taken. You understand what this means, correct? It's been explained to you.
Vera looks to
If we
Buffer.
say if we say anything, dramatic consequences.
Well, yes, you'll be swearing a binding oath. The magic will be attached to yourselves for the duration of your life, or until you find a way of removing it. Of course, if you find a way to remove it, Ambassador Rommel indicated that things would end very poorly for you. Something about the Shadow Legion, I think. I'm not privy to the details, and I don't want to know. But I just wanted to make sure you're aware, as these are legal documents, that I'm going to be signing for you.
Of course. And this oath is just we can't speak on the things that have happened or
I'm
release
sure
any of this
that,
information.
I'm sure that the specifics will be debated and agreed upon, but yes, my impression. That's the what I'm working under at the moment.
All right, fair enough.
Any other
I'm
questions?
alright with you.
And he says he asked that, but he wants to go. He doesn't really care.
No more questions.
He hurriedly rushes out of the room. Some time passes as you guys are just waiting. At a certain point, the dwarf that you met earlier, the huge one with the hammer, and he does appear to literally carry his hammer around with him wherever he goes. He
Incredible.
enters the room. He says, Buffer, what are you doing? Why are you still in the waiting room? He looks at you three and he says, You're my guests. You have the way of the manor. Please feel free to treat this as your new home, at least until we get you the heck out of here.
Alright, well.
Did he say this to all of us or just Buffer?
Everyone.
Oh, gotcha. I thought he was saying this to Buffer. Yeah, I would stand up and kind of slowly walk my way. Not wanting to walk past him, so just kind of, slowly just
Yeah. He politely steps aside. He gestures to the sword and he says, Did you touch that?
I shift back and forth nervously for a second and go, yeah, it was very impressive. I made sure not to, damage anything.
He nods, and unless you stop him or someone interrupts him, he will go into a long story about how he killed the hill giant who wielded that sword.
No,
I walk
I
in
want to
between
hear
them.
it.
Axel,
wanna
Axel,
hear it.
yeah, Axel would actually be kind of intrigued by this, wanting to learn
I'm
about
intrigued.
stuff. So
Vera
he
always
will.
wants to learn.
Axel will go ahead and grab this chair and shift it forward, and then sit down with the chair.
Sure. So as Lily goes off, Buffer would sneak out the side door as well. He gives a very dramatic retelling. He swings his hammer around somewhat concerningly as he's describing the
As he does it, I back up 5 feet, and my chair, I just scoot it back just in case.
Yeah. It gives a very animated retelling of this great story.
Throughout it, I would like to kind of poke fun at it and be like, "Oh, come on! You couldn't have been that strong, or you wouldn't have been able to do that." Kind of goading him into humbly or bragging about himself a little more.
Yeah, he does respond to he does respond to those little quips, encouraging him even more. I'm trying to think, unless there's something in particular that you guys want to do. Over the course of that night, you are treated to a large feast. Literally, most things that you can imagine, and a fair number of things you probably wouldn't, are on display for this feast. Ingredients that you aren't familiar with, vegetables, meats that you would not know. You sleep soundly that night in the manor's quarters, and the following day, two individuals with the same masks of the same mask that you guys saw when you first arrived with the chanter there, the Shadow Legion, arrive, and they administer oaths. The way that this works is they take a little bit of your blood, they sign it to a piece of paper, and they have a magic circle that you stand within. You speak the words of the oath, and they are, I can write them out in particular, but basically it's just, you don't mention any involvement with the Shadow Legion. You don't mention the truth of how you were summoned to this world. Yeah, those would be the two concerns. Basically, the Shadow Legion had nothing to do with you guys being summoned, and they had nothing to do with you at all.
Okay, and I would ask Buffer this as well, maybe even before they show up, or ask them if they're willing to answer questions.
You'd have to ask Buffer.
So is for this oath, how do I word this? Is the oath like actually magically binding in the sense of we physically cannot talk about it, like our bodies won't let us, or is it like if we do talk about it, we're getting thunderstruck upon?
No, your body will not allow you to knowingly
Okay.
violate.
Okay, gotcha. That was my main wonder.
And asking for clarification, that just people can find out that we're outworlders. They just can't find out that the Shadow Legion summoned us, right?
Correct. Yeah. So they were specific in the wording there, so you guys can make up a story if you need to.
Okay.
They
And
don't wanna,
their thing is explicitly we just can't talk about it.
Yes, you're not allowed to tell the truth about how you're so. You're not allowed to say that the Shadow Legion summoned you.
Okay.
Cool.
And I'll write out the actual like words so that
Words,
it makes
okay.
sense. But yeah, that's the basics of it.
I sign it or do it or whatever.
Yeah. Yes, everyone will, unless you try not to or say otherwise.
Axel's not testing that one quite yet.
I would also like to ask Buffer. I can't talk about it, but can I write about it?
Dude, no. See, I wouldn't even ask for clarification because he said only talking. That was my plan.
He shakes his head. He says, "It will be. It's the words will likely include the word communicate. So writing would fall under that."
Okay, so we'll just
I
tell
already
him.
have a written memoir of it, though, right?
Yeah, you do.
We will say that we won't talk about the Shadow Legion and wink.
Oddly, like very smart of Lily to do.
Mm-hmm.
You should add that to your inventory just to make sure you remember you have it.
Okay.
And I assume like Lily would not. They probably wouldn't like search your belongings. They probably honestly would not think that you would have written about this beforehand. Oversight on their part, I guess. As after you guys take the oaths, Ambassador Rommel gathers you guys up in his study. It's a pool table here, but there's not actually a pool table on it right now.
Damn it.
There is a large map laid out. Ambassador Rommel says, "Well, I've spoken with Buffer and the Shadow Legion representatives. They're willing to let you out at any point in the border. You'll be escorted by a group of us and a group of them, just to make sure no one tries anything in the meantime." Buffer requested, and I reluctantly agreed, because frankly I find the old man, well, he's a good man. I'd like to do right by him if I can. It's up to you where you each would like to be released, together or separate. And he gestures to the map and he says, "This is the world of Haven. In case anyone hasn't already."
Roll
Welcome.
intro credits.
It only took 10 weeks.
And I would like to show you guys your options.
People paw.
You guys see the map or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. This is
Oh,
cool.
fuck yes.
Yeah, I
need
fuck
to
with
ever
this.
like-
This is hype. So where are we at right now?
You guys are in Duran.
Oh, there's Duran. And where's our hometown? Fucking
Rhinestall.
Rhinestall.
Well, there
Oh,
it
okay,
is.
so it's pretty close. Okay.
Oh, it's pretty close.
I'm going
you
back to
guys-
my homelands, baby.
You guys came from Corlita, using the train route that goes east of the Emerald Lake. So yeah, you guys can kind of get a sense of things.
Interesting. Okay.